Good afternoon and welcome to Waikerie for Host Plus SANFL League action. It's round 2. West Adelaide hosting in their Riverland country region a Port Adelaide side that was beaten by Glenelg last week, and obviously West themselves were beaten by the Eagles. It is a brilliant day for football here in Waikerie. I'm Tom Eglinton, and joining me, former Centrals man Grant Coffey. How are you, Coff?
Yeah, good, Tom. It's been a nice day here today, isn't it? Beautiful weather. It's probably mid-20s. The ground is in perfect condition, and it should be a pretty good game today. Both teams looking to bounce back after bad losses in round 1. The West Adelaide side, they've got plenty of talent, but they're pretty young, so they'll want to keep these guys together for a few years, and obviously Port have got some AFL listed players, but I think we're in for a pretty good game here. It's a nice big ground, plenty of space, so plenty of space for people to run into and get hold of that footy.
Yeah, definitely plenty of space for these players to run into. You mentioned inexperience of West Adelaide. Isaac Johnson, the skipper, playing his 50th game today. Only other player to be above 50 games in the side is Josh Ryan. He plays 88. Everyone else is below for the West Adelaide side. Similar story for Port. Tom Cleary's played 64 games, played a lot with Glenelg before making his way into the Port side, and obviously the Port Reserve side coming in. Cody Zuss, 51 games. Otherwise, everyone pretty much under 50 as well, apart from the skipper, Nick Moore. Before we go any further, SANFL celebrates the lands throughout South Australia on which we are privileged to play our great game. We pay respect to all First Nations peoples, past and present, and thank them for their generosity as custodians of country. We recognise the profound contribution First Nations players, coaches and officials have made to our game. We celebrate their heritage and culture and support their continued spiritual connection to country. We value their guidance in our endeavour to connect communities through the enjoyment of football. And speaking about that enjoyment of football, it is the Russell Ebert tribute match. Obviously, last 2 seasons in Loxton. Today we're in beautiful Waikerie, and it is, as you mentioned, fantastic weather, and both sides should really get a good hit out.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And you'd think Port will go in probably slight favourites in this one, just with their AFL experience. They're in the middle at the moment, looking at tossing the coin. But I'm looking forward to seeing some of the West Adelaide juniors today they've got playing. When we say juniors, 20 years of age. Kobe Ryan's made a big impression since coming into the team. He's been really good. Darcy Minchella's another one, only 19 years of age, plays in defence. And a really wiry sort of young guy, but he's got plenty of ability as well. Young Oscar Krieger's another one on the wing as well, rangy. He's 194 centimetres, plays on the wing. Looking forward to watching him. And the state under-18 captain from last year, Will Patton as well, who'll play off half-back. So they've got plenty of talent, but they're pretty young, but they'll have a go, no doubt about that.
Yeah, as the siren sounds for the 2-minute warning, it is directly above us here in the commentary position at Waikerie, so pretty much can't hear ourselves when the siren goes off, but it's a good thing. We'll know when the quarter's ended. There'll be no guesswork about it, Coff. You mentioned Will Patton. Watched him last year through the under-18s. Really good pair of hands and can float in and play that defensive, intercept defensive mark. We know how good down in defence Josh Ryan is. It's just a matter of trying to work it all together. No Callum Park today, led disposals last year. For the entire competition. And where West struggled last year was they'd get the ball across half-back and be a bit slow. They need it just to get it across the centre of the ground. Then they're able to go inside forward 50. And they do have some targets in there. Liam Delahunty, he's able to go. He was the leading goal kicker last year. He's just trying to use it as best they can. 27 goals from him. While for Port, Tigers a bit too good, but they started very fast and almost surprised the Tigers last week. So I think they'll be able to, if they can get that start against West, they might sort of nip it in the bud straight away and get in front.
Yeah, in Port Adelaide, they've got some height as well. They've got big Tom Scully. I think he played his best game in this clash last year and won the best on ground, so he'll play out of the full forward. We're really looking forward to looking at Jordan Sweet. He's had some couple of really good years in the VFL, obviously traded back to Port Adelaide this year. He'll want to play more AFL. He'll be going up against Dylan Bramich, who gives his all. Probably a little bit, he's probably a bit around the 6'5" margin, and Sweet's probably 6'7" in the old language. So a bit undersized, but he just gives 110%, so it should be a good duel in there with the big guys as we're just about to start, Tom.
That we are. Siren sound. Russell Ebert tribute match. Waikerie. Umpire bounces down. Sweet over the top. Moore could have been held without it. Umpire agrees. Free kick Nick Moore.
Yeah, just got right into his back there, so first clearance to Port Adelaide here.
The Blood setting up well, comes sideways to Carter. Handballs off quickly towards Evans from Norwood, part of the rookie program this year with Port towards Scully. In hard back with courage, I should say, with Ryan. Could have ended badly for 2 or 3 players there, but ball spills over the boundary line for a boundary throw in, 25 metres out from the Port Adelaide goal.
Yeah, Josh Ryan, West Adelaide's most experienced player, just gives his all, and he'll have a big job today on Tom Scully as well. Umpire
throws it back into play. Vicentini doing the ruck work in attack. Stacks on the mill. We'll have another ball up. Or another stoppage, this time a ball up. Umpire throws aloft. Not able to truly win down. Sell, former Glenelg man. Scored holding the ball. I think that's the correct decision, Koff.
Yeah, it got taken 360 in the tackle. The umpire said that he had enough time to get rid of it. So Port Adelaide, first shot on goal here. It's only probably 30 metres out, but on a 45-degree angle, so just needs to kick through this one. No breeze here at all, though, today. Beautiful conditions.
So Murphy short. 2 goals straight last year. Averaged the 14 touches across his 14 games. So short to break the deadlock. Straight down your SANFL now. Broadcast lens. Wrong side of the post. It's a minor score. Port 1 behind. West yet to score. We have gone 2 minutes on SANFL now.
Yeah, Murphy sure to be disappointed with that one. Set shot on goal, but just missed it to the near side.
So the Bloods to bring it back into play. Coming grandstand side, or broadcast side at least. Marshall did well to get to the front. Cinderberry was lurking. Moore's wrapped up in a tackle. And they're just trying to work it out themselves. They can't, and we'll have a ball up.
Young Cole Marshall, you mentioned there too, Tom. He's I think he's 2nd or 3rd year now. He drafted from South Adelaide as a developing key back for them.
Cleary goes up the line. Narkle through his hands. Anastalopoulos gets the handball out. Ball down close to the boundary. Blood's trying to work it through hands. Searle was good in board. That kick comes off the side of the boot, and it's out of bounds on the full. It'll be Cleary to take the relieving kick in. It's been all Port Adelaide to start.
Yeah, Brady Searle's had a bit of the footy to start with since crossing over from Glenelg in the off-season.
Cleary up the line, went for Scully, tripped over the feet of Josh Ryan. Handball now comes out from Frost in towards Searle. Moline up the line. Cinderberry through his hands. Stevens, Ned Variety, gets around 1 and 2. Handballs back towards the skipper Johnson. He goes onto the left boot. Kick with a bit to be desired. Josh Sin intercepts. Short click to Cleary.
Cleary got plenty of experience, Tom. He'll be looking for a big game to force his way back into the AFL team.
That he will. He just goes lateral to Sin. And the Bloods are setting up well behind the ball. Left boot towards Carter. Was unable to pick it up. Now Stevens. Joel goes towards half forward. Redfern has a short option. Goes longer towards the top of the goal square. And a mark will be taken by McCormick. He was really good last week. Had a real good couple of 1% efforts. And he'll have a shot 20 metres out, almost directly in front.
Yeah, and you mentioned Redfern. The kick was an absolute ripper over the top, and West Adelaide just had a bit of space there, and this should be their first goal of the game.
So lining up. Mentioned 20 metres out, almost directly in front. Kicks off the left boot. He enjoys it. West Adelaide really enjoy it. They take the lead by 5 points, 1 straight 6. Port Adelaide 1 behind. We have gone almost 5 minutes on SANFL now. Tom Eglinton and Grant Coffey.
Yeah, it's amazing in modern football how forwards just can find so much space, because you've got defenders now just guarding space instead of guarding a player, and that's what happened on that occasion. They just found themselves into a bit of space there, the West Adelaide team, and then the kick was an absolute ripper. So first time they've gone inside 50 and first goal.
Last week, Port Adelaide susceptible to the one over the back as well. And Limerick Bean got a couple early, very similar to that. The break, and we talked about it pre-game, Cough, West Adelaide able to work it to halfway, and then bit of luck, but they're able to go forward.
Yep.
Sweet, tap down. Narkle lurking, does well on hands and knees. Bramich, who are able to break free and go towards half forward through the hands of Evans. Redfern is lurking, lays a good tackle. Joel Stevens comes in over the top as well. Ball up 48 metres out from the West Adelaide goal here in beautiful Waikerie. Sweet, just gets a punch away. Moline almost first to it. Chamberlain to Lorenz, off the preferred left foot. Krieger back with the flight. Has more immediately for company. Inboard through a chain of handballs. That's not good. Picked up now by Morris. You can go inside forward 50 towards the top of the square. No one able to complete. Cleary. Handballs off. Gets around one. Short kick up the line. Just works out for Port Adelaide. A bit fortuitous for him, but they're able to run down grandstand side here at Waikerie. Handball came inboard. Now with Francis Evans. Goes back onto the right boot. Not far enough play on. Charleston. Short little kick towards Scully. Does well to complete. So Tom Scully, we mentioned last year, the Russell Ebert medalist.
Yeah, it was a nice mark too, Tom. It was a nice little lead. The ball, the kick inside forward 50 was a ripper, just to a bit of space. Tom was able to get himself in front of Josh Ryan on that occasion and take a nice mark right within his distance. A similar sort of angle to his teammate a few moments ago. So let's just see what he does with this one. Normally a pretty reliable kick.
So Tom Scully stands at 203 centimetres. 21 goals. Lines up. We'll get another good look at it. Looks pretty straight, curling late and just misses. So Murphy Short's missed to the right-hand side. Tom Scully missed to the left.
Just faded late, didn't it? Looked like it was going to go through, but it just faded to the left very late. But Tom Scully showing good signs already. And I'm sure that when his turn comes for an AFL call-up, he'll be ready. Been putting some good performances together.
So free kick. Hanging on Westies is the call from the non-controlling umpire.
Against Tom Scully, I think.
So the Bloods have the ball on the outer side. Krieger can go up the line. Too much on it, over the head of Delahunty. The Magpies intercept. Sin is short, that's probably not 15. Umpire says it was. Sin towards the outer side. Lorenz takes a good overhead mark in front of McCormick. He comes inboard, dangerous. Zust. Really holding up well at the moment. Kick inboard, Marshall. Has Logan Evans wider. Cleary even wider now. We'll go short back to Zust. Logan Evans. Tom Cleary. They're favouring this side of the ground at the moment, Port Adelaide. Good kick inboard to Sin. He's worked hard from half-back.
Probably the leading possession getter at the moment on the grounds. Had plenty of the footy.
Sin off the left boot. Just going to poke it towards the hot spot. Couple of flies. Sweet couldn't complete it. Vicentini was in there. Don't think we're getting into that sandwich. We'll have a ball up. 15 metres out from the Port Adelaide goal. One straight six, plays two behinds. Sweet. Taps down. Scully trying to get him 1 and 2. Frost handballs off towards Patton. He comes back onto the preferred left boot. Pretty much all Port Adelaide here. Good flight at the back. Couldn't complete the mark. Spills through hands. Ball now finds its way to Carter. Close to the boundary. And it'll be spilled over the line by Cinderbury. We'll have a ball in about 70 metres out from the Port Adelaide goal. And at the moment, Cough, the West Adelaide defence is holding up well enough.
Yeah, they are. And that was a big fly there. We nearly had mark of the day in the first quarter there. But they are holding up.
Bramich, Vicentini, Moore was lurking front and centre. Searle got a handball out to Ryan, who gets around one, just got hands on it. Ladado, Bramich, towards the skipper Johnson. Ladado, clever and cheeky off the outside of the boot, and that somehow stayed in. Mark Morris. This is where it can be a problem for the Bloods. Goes towards about 60 from home. Ryan, handballs off. Cinderberry wrapped up. Handball went inside. Narkle first on the scene for the Magpies. Gets away. Handball. And they're just working it through the middle of Waikerie Oval. Towards the outer side of Minchella. Has Lorenz for company. Handball over the top. Krieger couldn't quite get it away. Now the Bloods can work it towards the 50-metre arc. It's shallow. Tackle laid. Too high. Free kick West Adelaide. Johnson's calling for it at centre half forward. It's a goal kicker, McCormick.
I think he likes the range. He'll kick from just outside 50, Tom. No, he's going to pass it off, I think.
He'll go towards the top of the square. 2-on-1 in favour of Port. Spills to the front. Redfern, can he get around 1-2? Snap around the corner. Hits it on the fat side. Not going to travel 15. And it's punched over the boundary line. We'll have a boundary throw in. We have gone 11 minutes on SANFL now. Tom Eglinton and Grant Coffey. Russell Ebert tribute match in Waikerie.
And Redfern did everything right there. Tommy broke the tackle. Looked like he was going to put it through on the left, but he skied the kick. And we'll have a boundary throw in.
Back into play. No ruck able to clear. Searle. Handballs back towards McGuire. Wrapped up immediately by Moore. Port Adelaide able to clear towards the outer side. Patton. As Chamberlain for company. Chamberlain did well. Wrapped up now by Patton. Good tackle was correct. Koff holding the ball. Chamberlain, formerly from West Adelaide as well. Topping up now for the Magpies. And Will Patton will go short on the left boot. That's not a good kick. Intercepted.
Yeah, that's where you don't want to turn the ball over, right in the middle of the ground for West Adelaide. And Port Adelaide can push the ball forward once again.
Evans intended for Scully. Josh Ryan there, as he does so often for West Adelaide, and as he did last week for the SANFL state team. Yeah. Only player on the ground to be in that game.
Yeah, he's a good player.
Definitely doesn't get the plaudits he probably deserves. Minchella now has Redfern long. It's a very good kick.
It is a good kick.
Cleary, I think, will be told to get back a couple of metres. Short kick inboard, the skipper Johnson. Wore 42 last year in the traditional number 1. Both him and Nick Moore, the skippers, wearing that traditional number. Johnson onto the left boot, up the line. Bramich, good mark from the big man. All 197 centimetres of him. He goes into the middle of the ground. That kick's not good. Francis Evans intercepts. As Narkle. He has a bit of speed to burn. Elects to stop. Short little kick over the top towards Scully. Has a fly. Josh Ryan did well. He'll handball backwards. Minchella. Underground kick. Lorenz first on the scene for the Magpies. He's a left footer. He wheels onto that by himself. Wiedemann. Great mark. You could see that a mile off, couldn't you, Koff?
You could, and he was there on his own, but he had to stand his ground. He's going to pass this off quickly and gives it to Cleary. So it was West Adelaide, though, once again, Tom. I think they had 3 poor kicking errors on that occasion and just turned the ball over too many times and gave Port Adelaide too many chances.
Well, it was Will Patton in the middle of the ground originally, and then Bramich. I know he's a ruckman. We don't harp on about those things.
And Minchella, I think it was there.
Cleary will make no mistake, 20 metres out, almost directly in front, and that's just his 3rd SANFL goal from his 64 games. Obviously, usually find himself at the other end of the ground, but that's an important one for the Magpies.
Yeah, at least snuck forward. So it was a good goal, and Wiedemann probably could have had a shot on goal himself there after taking a really strong mark. But Tom Cleary, I think he's playing on the wing at the moment, so it's just a bit of a different role than what he's used to. Gives him a bit more freedom to get up and down the ground.
Yeah, I do like it. We see these tall wingmen able to really put some pressure on the game. And if you've got the tank to do it, you may as well give them the opportunity to get forward, kick goals, or put that kick inside forward 50. And who supports community footy in SA? Amy does. We're back in the middle. Vicentini against Cinderberry. Searle has Zust for company. Didn't quite collect it. Zust and Searle. And they'll just jump on each other. No one wants the ball to go out. We'll have a ball up. So there's 1 straight 6. Plays 1, 2, 8. Almost 15 minutes gone. SANFL now, and of course AFL.com.au and the AFL app. We're going to have another stoppage here, Koff. No, we're not. It's going to be holding the ball. So umpire was circling to be a West Adelaide free kick. Frost. They can keep him fit for most of the year. I'll really appreciate him. Short kick, Moline. I haven't called his name a lot, and he's one that usually gets the footy a lot when they're going well.
Oh, that could be an FAD here. No.
Play on's the call, spills out the back of Lodato through his hands. Paul can go up towards Chamberlain. Good fist from Patton. That's what you expect from him. And they'll get around him. That really stopped something there.
Yeah, he had a couple of good defensive efforts. He got holding the ball before, and that was a good spoil, just to force a ball up or ball in there.
So on the outer side here at Waikerie, SANFL now, AFL.com.au and the AFL app, Tom Eglinton and Grant Coffey, Cinderberry, Zust out of the air towards Chamberlain, wrapped up by Ryan, but I think close to the boundary and over the boundary, in fact, another stoppage and a ball will be thrown back into play.
Nearly 16 minutes gone in this first quarter. A low-scoring affair so far, Tom. 1 goal apiece, 1-2 to Port Adelaide, and the Bloods 1 straight.
Mentioned Tom Clory has the most of anyone on the ground, 7 touches. Krieger lurking. Frost, that'll be holding the ball.
Yeah,
it
so.
is. Correct decision.
Probably should have gave the handball off. He broke 1 tackle, had some teammates there, but decided to go it alone, and unfortunately turned the footy over.
So Williams went up to Wiedemann, unselfishly gave off the opportunity at goal. He goes short towards Zust. Narkle leading. Has Evans on the arc of 50. Will go towards hotspot over there to Scully at the back. Mark will be taken by the debutant Dylan White and gets a good cheer for it. He goes inboard to Ryan. This is Kobe Ryan. Comes grandstand side to Josh Ryan. Left boot up the line to the skipper Johnson. And this is where it's been a bit of a problem. Johnson tell him to just calm it down a little bit. He'll go up the line. Contest going to form. Front and centre, couldn't complete the mark, was Mackenzie. At the back, Williams. Wheels around onto his favoured left boot into the middle of the ground, and Zust tries to get away from Sell. Handballs off towards Evans. He goes now towards the outer side himself. Lorenz is lurking. Krieger. But Lorenz with the footy. Left foot. Here's a left footer. Goes onto the non-preferred. Short through the hands. Anastelopoulos. Handballs off towards Zust, who goes towards 50 from home. Francis Evans. Had options. He's probably got this in him.
Yeah, back him in.
There was an option of Nick Moore and Narkle leading into the pocket, but it's a good kick. Kick usually is Francis Evans.
Yeah, he will need his best. He's kicking from just outside 50, but there's no breeze.
So Evans goes to pass towards the pocket. Scully with a fly. Couldn't complete and goes over the boundary line. No one's touched it actually to be a free kick, Josh Ryan. Amazing nobody got a hand on that, Cough.
Yep. Well, you got Tom Scully's about 202, so 203 he's listed as, so he's a big boy.
So Patton, left boot. That's a very good kick towards the outer side, Krieger.
He started well, Krieger. Had a couple of touches on that outer wing.
West Adelaide able to work it. They're going to go up to a free man now. Maguire.
Oh, they're away.
Spilled what he should have taken. Handball over the top towards Joel Stevens. Now they've got time and space going towards the hotspot. Good fly. Mark, was it completed? In the end, it was. And down there, West Adelaide will have a shot at goal on a tough angle.
I think it might be Delahunty. And it was a nice mark, but once again, he found himself all alone in that forward pocket.
Around the corner, left boot. Doesn't quite have the accuracy. It's a minor score here. So it is now 1-1-7, plays 1-2-8. 1 point is the margin here on SANFL now, as Port Adelaide bring it back into play. It's now with Evans. Goes lateral. Up the line. Intercepted immediately by May. Not the best effort. Round 1 and 2. Krieger. Boot on ball. Towards the hot spot. That could be in the back. Umpire says no play on Lodato at the back of the pack. Handballs off towards Redfern. He had a chance early. Oh, that's a fantastic smother. Does it stay in? No. Out of bounds. It'll be a ball in. We have gone 20, 21 minutes here on SANFL now.
Yeah, good pressure by Port Adelaide because that looked like a certain goal to Westies.
So we'll throw it back into play. Lodato lurking. Snap around the corner. Off hands. Minor score. So we are all tied up. 1-2 apiece. 8 plays 8. 21 minutes gone on SANFL now. West Adelaide just starting to lock it in and getting a bit more use.
They haven't had it in as many times inside forward 50 as Port Adelaide, but they actually look more dangerous when they go forward. So they've had plenty of, they've had a couple of good chances.
Inside 50, 6-8, so a few more than we probably thought, Koff. As the ball finds its way to the middle of the ground, Nick Moore back with the flight is courageous. Mighty go. Now we'll go back over. Handballs off to a running teammate. Gets onto the right boot and has a shot from 45. Does it have the accuracy? No is the answer. It's a minor score. It was Chamberlain. So they lead by a point now. Do the Magpies.
It had good carry though, didn't it? Travelled the distance. It probably travelled 50 metres. It was going to be a 25 metre, or is it a 50? Looks like it's a 50.
So we've gone up to the 50-metre arc. Patton to Frost. He'll get it back in the 1-2 pattern. On the left boot towards the outer side. Krieger, almost too much on it. He's able to wheel back in. And now they can look to go inside forward 50. Sin, that was good work. Almost just fell to him, but still had to take the mark. Will come grandstand side now towards Turner. Plays on quickly. Scully all by himself. Can wheel around. Has an option running into goal. Will it sit nicely? Charleston, it will. This will be a goal for the Magpies. Charleston kicks his first. The Magpies second. And they go out to a 7-point lead. 1-8 the Bloods. The Magpies are 2-3-15. And who supports community footy in SA? Amy does.
And that was a nice kick by Tom Scully, wasn't it? He just kicked the ball in front of him, let him run onto the footy. He had plenty of space to run onto the ball, and he was just too quick. First one there, and Port Adelaide's second goal of the game. So it's an interesting contest so far. Both teams have had their opportunities, and I think we're in for a good one.
Yeah, they have had their opportunities, Koff, and it's just a more open forward line on that occasion for Port Adelaide. When they have gone in at the start of the game, it was very congested.
Yeah.
Now just able to break the press, if you will.
It does help when you've got a big target like Tom Scully. It's predictable. He's got plenty of space to lead into. They're quite deep pockets here in Waikerie, so he's got plenty of space, as we saw there, to lead up into. That might be in the back, yep.
Yeah, Moore will get the free kick. The Magpies skipper. The A.R. McLean medal last year for the best and fairest. Towards 40 from goal. Ryan through his hands. Scully wheels around, gets booed on ball. Wrong side of the post, minor score. Almost kicking themselves out of it a little bit. 2-4-16, they lead by 8 points. West 1-2-8. We have gone 24 minutes on SANFL now. Bring it back into play. The outer side, White goes up towards the other White. Was Dylan to Jordan. Whistle's gone, holding the ball. Free kick. Inboard to Kobe Ryan. Zeus does well. Dangerous is the correct call. Up towards Scully. Over his head. Sits nicely for Josh Ryan. Might have to come grandstand side. Is a left footer. Does well to Minchella.
They've turned the ball over a few times, West Adelaide, going into the corridor. The kick's just a bit slow. Needs to get there a bit quicker.
Bit loopy at times. So
yep.
Dylan White on debut. Inboard to Lucas Moline. Goes towards the other side, Ryan. Short upboard to May. Up the line, Redfern. Inboard Frost. Can't be too much time left. They're working it nicely. Stevens. Sin with a good fist from behind. Stevens picks it up. Backwards towards Redfern. Short little kick up the line. Mark will be taken by White. Short kick again. Trying to work it as best they can towards the pocket, and Bramich couldn't complete the mark. You're right, he had it, Coffin spilled it right at the end. Trying to say he's getting a handball out. Umpire agrees. It'll be a ball up just inside the arc of 50, and a mark like that could have been really handy going into quarter time.
Yeah, that would have been a shot on goal. They've pushed the big fella forward by the look of it.
Whistle's gone. Free kick. Which way? West Adelaide. So they'll get the shot anyway, and it's through Joel Stevens this time. And no disrespect to Dylan Bramich, but probably the one of the two you'd like to have a shot from this.
Yeah, he's a good kick of the footy. And as you say, there won't be much time left in this quarter. So this would be a handy one on the quarter time break.
Joel Stevens, 6 goals, 7 last year. This to bring him back to within 2 points. 26 minutes gone. SANFL now, afl.com.au and the AFL app. Siren sound, Stevens.
He likes it.
He likes it a lot. The crowd get up and about here at Waikerie. And it's back to 2 points here at quarter time. So it is 2-2-14, plays 2-4-16. Goal kickers, Dylan McCormick with 1, Joel Stevens with 1, and down the other end for Port Adelaide, Lachlan Charleston and Tom Cleary with 1 apiece. Have a quick look at some player stats and we'll go to the break. Luke Redfern has 8, Sam Frost, Oscar Krieger, Josh Ryan and Dylan White all have 6, while for Port Adelaide, Tom Cleary, who had 7 at the point I mentioned, probably about 16 minutes into that quarter, didn't have another one after that. Logan Evans and Cody Zust with 6 as well. We will take a short break here from Waikerie on SANFL now. Tom Eglinton and Grant Coffey. It is currently the Magpies by 2 points.
Here we are at the Host Plus SANFL League. Oh, you can feel the intensity. Watching closely from the sidelines as the ball shanked from the flank. Heading out on the full, sees his chance, space around him. Cometh the moment, cometh the man. The goal! Stolen by a mate. What a moment! Who saw that coming? He certainly didn't. SANFL, nothing beats it.
Jerome picked up a bargain blender and juiced more than he expected. And Julio bought cheap car insurance with cheap accident repair. When it comes to the important stuff, don't risk bargain regret. Go here instead. Next time join the A-team, hey Julio. Worried about cheap insurance? Who offers great value cover you won't regret? Amy does.
40 crispy, juicy chicken McNuggets are delicious with friends. But together with tangy Cajun sauce, that's for close friends only.
What does it take to win Super Ratings Fund of the Year? Strong performance, competitive fees, and a focus on members. A super fund that delivers all three? That's a plus.
Big moment for the debutante at her first Host Plus SANFL League game. First time out on the ground for a half-time kick and catch with the old man. Already demolished her first footy pie. Cleans up. And now, Dadlock's in a beauty! And on this day of firsts, can she, will she make it stick? Yes, she can! What a moment for the youngster! SANFL, nothing beats it.
Welcome back to Waikerie. It is Port Adelaide by 2 points. It's West 2-2-14, Port 2-4-16s. And before we go any further, quickly around the grounds, a long way away from here at Flinders University Stadium South at quarter time, 2 points, Sturt 2-3-15, so they lead by 13 points there. But here at Waikerie, where we are, Koff, interesting first quarter.
Yeah, no, it was. It was an entertaining first quarter. Port Adelaide got off to a pretty positive start, but West Adelaide just kept chipping away, and their young players are starting to stand up as well. We saw, we mentioned Oscar Krieger there on the outer wing, had a couple of really good moments. Will Patton defensively, a couple of really good moments. Darcy Minchella playing in defence, so he looked really good as well. So, they've got some of their experience, as we saw Josh Ryan really holding the back line together there. But their younger players are really standing up, which is important for this game. And obviously they've got some harder bodies around the ball. Luke Redfern was really good in that first quarter. He had 8 touches. So even though that they're pretty young, they're having a go. And it's a big deck here, so this will suit the younger guys of West Adelaide, especially as the game goes on. And I've been really impressed as well with Dylan Bramich in the ruck. It'd be nice actually if they had another big that they could rest him up forward, because he nearly took a real big mark there that he didn't quite hold on to. But if they could do that more often, but I don't really see anyone who can really swap with him in the ruck itself. But maybe that's something they need to look at as the season goes on, to be able to push him forward, because I'm sure he could take a few marks for them up forward while he's resting as well.
Well, usually it's Hamish Ellum that goes in and pinch hits for a bit, but he's not playing today. Jai Cinderberry's gone in for a little bit, but I think Sweet and Vicentini and Co are just going to pretty much destroy him. He's only 189 centimetres, only played the 26 league games himself. So I think Bramich will have to do it the tough way for most of the day. And, we know Sweet, Vicentini are going to be, double teaming most of the day, and then Scully and attack as well, I should say. Yep.
And Tom Cleary got off to a really good start for Port Adelaide as well, playing that new role on the wing this year for the Magpies.
So back in the middle, Waikerie, Russell Ebert tribute match. Bramich will bring it down himself, handballs off towards Ryan, goes towards 50 from home. Stevens tried to get rid of Carter. Wrapped up, ball spills out, umpire says play on. Now he's circling, but it'll be a ball up just outside the arc of 50.
The other one we didn't see much in the first quarter is Ned Stevens as well, who's got a really good set of hands. So if he gets a couple of opportunities inside forward 50, look out for him as well.
So Scully had Ryan immediately as company. We're back into the middle of Waikerie Oval here. Umpire circling. We'll have a ball up.
Great to see Josh Sin playing a really strong first quarter, playing at half-back.
Sweet, down. Picked up now by May. Wrapped up immediately by Charleston. Holding the ball, says the umpire.
Yeah.
So Charleston, the recipient of the free kick.
He's looking for a runner here.
Nearly got it. We'll get it now. Marshall will go towards the outer side. Sin back with the flight. That was courageous. Got away from Krieger as well. Goes towards the hotspot mark. Unable to be completed. Kick now from somehow, some way. But it's a minor score. So 2-5-17 plays 2-2-14. 3 points is the margin on SANFL now. Tom Eglinton and Grant Coffey.
Yeah, Nick Moore just had a half a chance there. Just couldn't make the most of it. But Port Adelaide, good inside forward 50.
So Patton will bring it back into play for the Bloods. He'll come to this broadcast side. Bramich and Sweet. Neither able to really get hands on it. Hits the deck and we'll have a ball up.
They were pretty stagnant there, West Adelaide. They need to get on their bike a bit. They're just kicking to a contest from fullback at the moment.
Ryan just gets booed on ball, comes up the line. Oh, Johnson picks up well, handballs off towards Joel Stevens. Now to Tommy Morrish. He'll go towards 40 from home, and this is good play from West Adelaide. A mark will be taken, and it's simple footy in the end, and Dylan McCormick will have an opportunity for his second.
And the kick was a ripper, wasn't it? He had a couple of options, but picked out Dylan McCormick, which was the best one. He kicked one goal himself in the first quarter. So he'll kick from about 40 metres out, just a matter of accuracy here.
So he's 3 straight on the year.
You're trying to put the muzzle in.
Trying not to cough, but I've probably done this for long enough to know that that's exactly what will happen. It's a minor score to Dylan McCormick. 2-3-15 plays 2-5-17. We have gone almost 3 minutes on SANFL now.
Yeah, they're the chances you just can't let go. Unfortunately, you missed that one, but that was a good inside forward 50 to West Adelaide.
So up the line, Scully. Bit about that Vicentini, actually. Charleston wrapped up by Ryan. Nick Moore lurking as he does every week.
Yeah, and you mentioned Vicentini. They look like twins, don't they, him and Big Scully?
Yeah, they're very similar. Vicentini just ever so slightly, the socks slightly bit more pulled up for those playing at home and want to tell them apart. Sweet, somehow got the ball away to Sin. He goes left boot up the line, just over the head there of Wiedemann, who lays a tackle straight away on Will Patton. Got a little bit high in the end, but umpire says no. We'll have a ball up, 65 metres out from the Port goal. Tom Cleary lurking there again, as is Cody Zust. Sweet to Cleary, he spilled it, and that's a good smother over the line. We'll have a boundary throw in. Almost directly in front of the barbecue out there, Koff.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
I don't know if we can get delivery up to the box for half time. And the old style sort of bar.
I did call into one of the local bakeries on the way here. It was very nice.
Yeah, I might have done the same thing too, Koff, as Stevens lays a good tackle going absolutely nowhere. We'll have a ball up again.
It was called the Newland Bakery. They had plenty of cakes and pastries. Looked beautiful.
Tap down, Cleary. That could be holding the ball. Does he get boot to ball? He must have just slightly. Moore off to Zust. Handball inside. Charleston running into a bit of space. Handball go towards Wiedemann. Kick around the corner.
Ooh.
Off the post. Minor score. 2-6-18 plays 2-3-15. Gone about 5 minutes here at Waikerie on SANFL now, afl.com.au and the AFL app.
It's been busy, Jake Wiedemann. Started the quarter off really well.
So the Bloods bring it back into play and go long towards the outer side. Krieger.
That's a good kick, isn't it?
It's a good kick and a good mark. They're good at getting this kick
This is
here.
the worry here. They've turned it over a few times with this one.
Inboard Frost. Johnson's calling for it, but it's about 100 metres away from you.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go is correct. Inboard and able to be cut off. Could have been held without an umpire, said no, play on. Handball backwards to Sin, who goes up towards Cleary. Too much on it. Johnson going to be first on the scene, close to the boundary. And he's happy to take it over. It'll be a boundary throw in.
And you could see there where West Adelaide went to go into the corridor, they had a shorter kick. That's the one they needed to hit up. That longer kick, they had too much time to cut it off.
And the kicks inboard just a little too much on them, like the too aerial. Need to be a bit flatter. Sweet, handballs out. Somehow off the boot, short, goes inboard. Carter lurking, good contest. Everyone going in hard at the footy. Kobe Ryan just putting it out in front of his teammate. How does it sit? Sits nicely for Tommy Morris, and they're all in a world of space. Cinderbury just needs to kick towards Redfern. How does it sit? Doesn't sit too well. Can he get booed on ball?
Oh, I don't think he has.
Redfern's claiming a boot or something, or he didn't touch it, but on the line, that is brilliant defensive work. Will Lorenz down there running up and down all day. It's a minor score.
Well, that was a certain goal. That's fantastic work there by Port Adelaide.
Well, I think I called 4 on none, and somehow Port have...
Yeah, come from nowhere.
So, the Magpies, Cleary goes backwards. I want to switch to the outer side, Mackenzie. Out on what is technically the clubroom side. Interesting little setup as Porter able to work it. Evans will go in board. Francis Evans now. Goes up the line. Scully through the hands of him and Ryan at the back of the pack. fact, Vicentini again. Handballs off. They've made a little change there. Ball goes towards the hot spot. Sweet resting forward. Bramich there as well. Patton gets a handball towards the outer side. White plays a good tackle. And we'll have a ball up just inside the boundary line, Cough.
Yeah, I think Jordan Sweet just pushed forward there, just trying to sneak a mark and goal inside forward 50, but Bramich went with him and stopped him from taking that mark.
Sweet out the ruck, kick around the corner.
He's done it.
It's a goal. I'm still wondering if they were celebrating, but it is a goal. It is now 3-6 plays 2 goals 4. 24 plays 16. It is now back to an 8-point margin on SANFL now.
Yeah, well, Port Adelaide, that's really their one chance, and they've got that nice goal there. And Westies have had a couple of golden chances to kick goals in this quarter, and unfortunately they haven't done so. But a good game of footy.
Well, they've traded behinds to start the quarter, and then Sweet breaks the deadlock.
And that's what we're talking about there. So Sweet now is having a rest at full forward. And looks like Vicentini's gone into the ruck while Tom Scully has a rest. But that's what I'm sure West Adelaide would love to be able to do that with Bramich as well.
So umpire in the middle of the ground. Gone 8.5 minutes. Who supports community footy in SA? Amy does. It's a pretty good bounce down from the umpire. Bramich, Vicentini now. So, smothered by Narkle. Could have been held without an umpire. Said play on. Narkle gets handball off to Moore. He might get it back in the 1-2. He does. Moline did well to get across to him. That's a free kick. Advantage play on Nick Moore around the corner. His jumper number's falling off and he's kicked a minor score. So it is 2-7-25. So, that can't be right. The scoreboard hasn't updated here at the ground. It is 3-7-25, plays 2-4-16.
Probably had enough time, Nick Moore, just to straighten up then, but went around the body and missed it. And his teammate's probably not too happy either because he missed a shot on goal himself.
The bottom of his number 1, Nick Moore, flailing in the wind. West go towards the outer side. Through a couple of pairs of hands, Moline lurking. Johnson, handballs off. They were to work now. This could be on the ball. That is a brilliant run-down tackle and some afters. Anastalopoulos, handballs off. Sin, he's a left footer. You have to come back inside. Evans, towards half forward, and they've got plenty of numbers here to Port Adelaide. Inside forward 50, Francis Evans takes the mark. 47 metres out, 45-degree angle.
And you can only think that he was lacking a bit of voice around him, Moline, over in that outer wing, because he had a bit of time, but great chase down tackle by Port Adelaide.
So Francis Evans, 20 goals in his SANFL career. Comes in, called to play on, kicks from 48. Does have distance. They've hit the post, the players. It's gone through for a minor score nonetheless. 3-8-26, plays 2-4-16. 10 points is the margin. 11 scoring shots to 6.
Couple of opportunities for Francis Evans.
So Bloods back into play. Josh Ryan goes back to whence it came. And they're really hammering him in at the moment. Really unsure where to go. It's just going to have to be a hoof up the line. Bramich, the intended target. Zush sits in the hole well. Cleary, short little kick, not to its intended target. It was for Wiedemann. Patton picks it up. Wiedemann lays a strong tackle over the top. And we'll have a ball up 40 metres out from the Port Adelaide goal. And without scoring at the moment, the Magpies are well and truly on top.
Yeah, they are, but West Adelaide, they have had a couple. They probably should have had 2 goals themselves this quarter, so they're still in the game.
Zust, Chamberlain, around the corner, going towards the top of the square. How's it going to fall? Spills out the back, Moline to Ryan. Goes up the line, back with courage, was the skipper Johnson, I should say. Files out towards Moline. Couple of handballs now, just able to work it as best they can. Finally a mark's taken on the outer side and they can settle a little bit through Joel Stevens. So Stevens, can hear the calls of Joel out there. just goes as long as he can. Couple of flyers. No one able to complete the mark. Lodato gave off a handball. Just boot on ball. Back in board to Lodato. Has some company immediately. Charleston handballs out towards short. To Zust. Now towards Scully. Long way from his usual home. Out towards Narkle. Can he get away? He can. Zust. Logan Evans, handballs inboard back to Narkle. You won't catch him. He runs to 50. He closes, has a shot at goal, and Quinton Narkle kicks a goal for the Magpies. Never ever in doubt. 4-8-32, plays 2-4-16, and Quinton Narkle with his first of the day.
Yeah, and that was a good piece of play. He broke the tackle right in the middle of the ground and just kept running, and that was a nice goal, unguarded goal square from right on 50, a beautiful goal, and a bit of reward there for the Magpies.
They've been working hard without hitting the scoreboard too much in this quarter. It is now 2 goals 4 in the quarter to 2 behinds in favour of the Magpies. We are back in the middle. Tom Egling and Grant Coffey, SANFL now. AFL SANFL up in Waikerie. Next week, the Bloods got to travel to Port Lincoln as well to take on Norwood, who have had a fire start to the year, beating both the grand finalists. Free kick Port. Handball off to Sin. He's worked really hard off half-back. He goes towards the spot. Front and centre. Mark and there. Can he get as many in a couple of minutes? Back with the flight. Couldn't complete the mark. Patton, 3 hands. Moline now up the line. Pack forms Vicentini, couldn't complete it. Bramage over the top with a tackle. We'll have a ball up. In fact, it was Frost in there. The ball up. Cinderbury doing the ruck work now, giving Bramage a rest. Handball comes out to Cinderbury. Sin. Zust. Kick around the corner now from Lorenz. We'll go towards shallow 50. Pack forms. Good tackle. We'll have a ball up just inside the arc of 50, Cough.
Yeah, West Adelaide was a bit of a poor handball on that occasion. I think it might have been Cinderbury, but Port Adelaide have got another opportunity inside forward 50 here.
So Scully one down, only went as far as Josh Ryan. Ball now comes up towards broadcast side. Delahunty goes in and crashes the pack. Haven't seen that for most of the day. Handball left a bit to be desired from Maguire. Somehow they've ended up with it though. The Bloods. No one to kick to is correct, Cough. Maguire. Handballs off to Ned Stevens. Lodato over the top. Doesn't know Lorenz is there. Or he did in the end. Stepped around him. Does he have a shot at goal? He does. Wrong side of the post though. Goes out saying the Bloods needed that one.
Yeah, well, they're still in the game, aren't they? They've had some really good opportunities this quarter, but unfortunately 3 behinds.
Can't win games of football kicking behinds.
And they worked their way through that pretty well because they had no one inside forward 50, so it was like they were just sharing the ball, running it through half forward.
So Zust went to true centre half back. Williams goes towards the outer side, has a bit of legs on it. Charleston, he's quick, could be held without it. Whistle's gone, free kick Charleston. He'll have it 55 out from home.
It was a good kick by Williams, wasn't it? It was just into space, let him run onto it.
We've got a few good left footers off half back. Yeah. Williams, McKenzie, Josh Sin.
And Dylan Williamsby, another one, had a great year at AFL level last year, finds himself back in the SANFL at the moment, so he'll be looking to push his claims for a call-up.
Obviously Port last night, 3 or 4 point winners in the AFL. Charleston goes in towards the pocket, through the hands of Wiedemann.
Not touched, I don't think.
Not touched at all is correct. We'll have a free kick going the way of the Bloods.
I think it's Moline. He's a good kick of the footy, this bloke.
Yeah, definitely Lucas Moline. Averages the 15 touches. Wheels around, up the line. Stevens at the back, front and centre, taking the mark in front. Delahunty goes towards the outer side, and it's that kick-off every single time for West.
Sort of coming off that half-back area. It's got them into trouble today.
Left boot up the line, Narkle, he'll be lurking, good fist at the front. Wiedemann, Anastelopoulos lurking, short kick.
That was clever.
The skipper Johnson, up the line. McCormick Could have been held without it, and was. Sure, Port players and fans will be saying, I'm not sure how he got rid of it.
Yeah, he was lucky because he could have been caught holding the ball there. And I think Logan Evans is probably asking that question.
Up the line, Lodato.
This is the kick, isn't it? They're getting themselves into trouble here.
Well, as we mentioned, no Callum Park, and usually this kick 8 times out of 10 would be from Callum Park. Stevens couldn't complete. Mackenzie gets around him, handballs off to Lorenz. Zust, he's got a lot of the footy today. He goes inside to Moore, who's wrapped up immediately by Frost. Moore running around with no jumper number at all now. Chamberlain got it from Sin, up towards Scully. Good fist in but from behind from Ryan. Wiedemann inboard, Narkle. Goes into the centre of the ground. All by himself is Cleary. Where are his options? It's option 40 from goal. Lorenz couldn't complete. Logan Evans now coming in for support.
I think that issue with West Adelaide just coming through the middle of the ground, they're just a bit slow. They've just, everyone's hurled up. So when they get that footy, they need to roll on quickly.
In fact, it was Charleston who couldn't complete the mark in the end. Scully handballs off. Aforementioned Charleston. He's been good today, around 1 and 2. High up and under kick. Josh Ryan sits in the hole as he does. Mark will be taken.
He's reliable, isn't he? Josh Ryan, very good player.
Very good player. Averages 7 marks a game last year. Just going backwards, which they can't really afford to do, but I suppose when they go forward, it just comes straight back in, doesn't it?
Yeah. Got a chance here.
Redfern. Up the line for Lodato. We'll get it on a bounce.
Oh.
That could be too high over the top. Against Marshall. Lodato, one who's had a few chances as well. Short kick over the top. Just stays in. Redfern.
They're just sitting in the space though, West Adelaide. They need to sort of get out, push out of there and...
You look forward and it's just pretty much all Port jumpers, not on this occasion. Brady Searle, former Tiger. Doesn't have a whole lot of option forward. Port setting up well. Wheels around, goes short, kick on the half volley to Delahunty, who tried to get rid of his teammate, in opposition player in Byrne, I should say. Spills out now, Sin. Gets booed on ball. Up towards broadcast wing. Bramich comes across the front of the contest. Booed on ball. Kick not intended for there.
Oh, that's...
Play on, says the umpire.
Tackle.
The no-numbered Moore came over the top. Evans, up the line. Scully. It's a free forward line. No one in forward 50 for the Magpies. He goes wide and lateral. Williams, up the line. Sweet. He goes towards the pocket. Anastopoulos couldn't complete. Punch over the top. It'll be a boundary throw-in. 2-5-17 plays 4-8-32. 15 points is the margin on SANFL now. Tom Eglinton and Grant Coffey. We have gone 21 minutes. Umpire to throw the ball back into play.
Nick Moore wearing number 68 now, Tom. If you see a new player out there.
Bramich. Now West just trying to work it. They'll go by foot up the line. Intercept mark taken by Byrne. Comes towards broadcast side, intended for Cleary. Good fist on it, but it'll work out for the Magpies nonetheless. Short little left boot inside Sin. He wheels around onto the left boot. He has a shot, it's curling back. Josh Sin, take a bow. The Magpies get their 5th. It is 5-8, plays 2-5. And they're running rampant without actually getting too much on the board.
Yeah, and Josh Sin, who's been really good off half back today, has had plenty of the footy. And as you mentioned, he just wheeled around to that left boot and let the, went a bit of left to right about it, a bit of curl, natural curl in his kick, and it was a beauty.
He's had the most touches of anyone on the ground now, 15 touches and a goal, 7 marks in that as well.
And probably should be playing at the next level, Josh Sin. He's a good player. He started off really well, then he had some injuries and finds himself back in the SANFL. I think there might
Change of footy, I think, Koff.
Yeah, it might be, the ball might have gone flat.
Josh Sitton's kicked it that hard. We'll get a new Sharon. Mentioned Josh Sitton, 15 touches and a goal. Tom Cleary's had 13 and a goal. Cody Zust's had 12. He's getting a lot of the footy. While for West, Maline's had 14. Redfern's had 10 and Johnson and both Ryans with 9. But a lot of those possessions are in defensive 50, and that's where the problem is for the Bloods at the moment. We're back in the middle. Bramich, Sweet, gets a handball away towards Moore, wearing the 68. He'll wheel around on the non-preferred left boot. Not his best kick, but it does go forward. Zust, not with real effective disposal in the end. Bramich, that's a clever handball to go backwards. Kobe Ryan now streams into a bit of space. Up towards broadcast position. Delahunty gets hands on it, spills over the back, over Marshall as well. Oh, Marshall did well to intercept, close to the boundary. He might just want to take it over. No, he thinks his way through it a lot better than I did up here in the commentary box, and that's why he's down on the ground playing football. And I'm up here. Murphy short, cross ground. That's dangerous. In hard at the contest was Logan Evans. In the middle of the ground, Scully. No one able to complete. Moline handballs off now towards White. Vicentini in hard at Kobe Ryan. Lorenz. He wheels around onto his preferred left boot. Here the call of wheels. Scully, he does extremely well to get rid of the state fullback.
Yeah, so that's a good little win there because Josh Ryan's probably been on top in that duel. Played him very closely.
Scully to the middle of the ground. Murphy short. Can't be much time left. Has to be said that is the old style analogue clock here at Waikerie. A bit lucky in the SANFL. Everyone's got the digital clock for us. The short goes in towards the pocket. Couple of flyers. No one able to complete. Zust is wrapped up immediately. And we'll have a ball up. 5-8-38. Plays 2-5-17. 21 points is the margin. Approximately 24 and a half minutes gone. Sweet. Down Narkle. Somehow boot on ball. Everyone just lurking, trying to get a piece of the footy. One is going to the footy is the umpire. We'll have a ball up 30 metres out from Port Adelaide's goal. Bramich and Sweet. Sweet taps down. Kick around the corner. Zust did well to affect it. Sweet over the top of the tackle. We'll have another ball up. As mentioned, 21 points the margin, Koff. Approaching half-time.
Yeah, West Adelaide would just like to hold Port Adelaide out from scoring again this quarter.
Yeah, they cannot afford a score. Kobe Ryan does well to get the ball out. Comes up grandstand side. Delahunty, a long way from home. You don't want your full forward and your leading goal kicker from last year taking marks there. But it's the way it's been for the Blood so far. He wheels around towards Stevens. McKenzie in the hole. Takes a very good mark. He'll go backwards to Evans. And they're happy to just work it simply. The kick left a little bit to do for Burns, so Evans will get it back. Might be on the half volley again. It was. Dangerous kick up towards short. They're going to have an opportunity. McCormick, Maguire over the top. Is there enough time? Runs into an open goal. And the Bloods finally have another. So almost the complete way that some of the Magpies have got their goals. And the Bloods go to 3-5-23. Port 5-8-38. And Tommy Morrish with his first of the day.
I think it might have been Logan Evans who was trying to pick out a teammate right at the defensive 50, but as has happened today, the kick had a bit too much height on it, and West Adelaide were able to close down the kick, and they had numbers around the footy. Couple of nice handballs. Found Tom Morris running into an open goal.
And they didn't overthink it, overwork it. They just went the straight option they needed to do, which they had done a couple of times going forward earlier in the quarter. We know there was a 4-on-1 contest, and from memory, I think Will Lorenz back there was able just to somehow stop a goal being scored.
Yeah, so that's the perfect scenario for West Adelaide. They held Port Adelaide out, got a nice goal themselves just to close the margin.
15 points, Sweet. Bramich was lurking. Handball will now come out from Frost. Kobe Ryan towards the half-forward flank. How's it going to sit? Goes over the boundary line, touched. Ned Stevens and Kyle Marshall good battle for most of the day.
Yeah, it is. A couple of good young prospects there.
So they boundary throw in.
Both 20 years of age. Plenty of footy ahead of them.
3 goals 4 to 1 goal 3 this quarter. Bramich just stopped it almost a bit soccer-esque, was able to do a little ball roll. Johnson, Ladado, Ryan, he's in a world of space now to Stevens, gets booed on ball. Can they get a second in a matter of minutes? They can! There's life in the Bloods. 4-5, plays 5-8. And they're back within 9 points.
Yeah, Joel Stevens' second goal of the game. Fantastic work by West Adelaide. As you mentioned, 2 in a minute. And it was a nice little handball by Ladado that just found West Adelaide into a bit of space. And Stevens, who's a fantastic kick of the footy, kicking his second goal of the game. So great response to West Adelaide. Closing in on the half-time break. What are we down? Nearly 28 minutes gone, so not much time left.
Well, we were, don't want to say hoping, West Adelaide were hoping down the other end that they could just keep Port at bay for the rest of the half, and they've managed to sneak 2 goals very late in the time on, and interesting to see how both the Hartlett boys feel in the half-time break. So we are back in the middle. Can they get another one? It'll make it very interesting into half-time. Bramich and Sweet starting to get first use of the ball. Frost could have been held without it by Moore and was. So Frost, I think they've just got to go long. Over 29 minutes gone. I know we had a footy change, but can't be that much time. And maybe they're just happy to take it in as a 9-point deficit. Working it around by foot. Josh Ryan. He has Minchella backwards. As the siren sounds at halftime here in Waikerie, it is 4-5-29 West Adelaide. Port Adelaide are 5-8-38. It is a 9-point margin. Back-to-back goals in the 26 and the 28 minutes from Morris and Stevens got it back to that 9-point margin. It was game-high 21-point margin at the 22-minute mark of that quarter. Goal kickers quickly. Joel Stevens 2, McCormick and Morris with 1. While for Port Adelaide, it's all singles to Charleston, Cleary, Narkle, Sin and Sweet. We will take a break here on SANFL now, and we'll come back with all the stats and a bit of a halftime chit-chat about what's going on here in Waikerie. It is a Russell Ebert Tribute Match 2024. Port Adelaide by 9 points.
Here we are at the Host Plus SANFL League. You can feel the intensity. Watching closely from the sidelines as the ball shanked from the flank. Heading out on the full. Sees his chance. Space around him. Cometh the moment. Cometh the man. The goal! Stolen by a mate. What a moment. Who saw that coming? He certainly didn't. SANFL. Nothing beats it.
Jerome picked up a bargain blender and juiced more than he expected. And Julio bought cheap car insurance with cheap accident repair. When it comes to the important stuff, don't risk bargain regret. Go here instead. Next time join the A-team, hey Julio. Worried about cheap insurance? Who offers great value cover you won't regret? Amy does.
40 crispy, juicy chicken McNuggets are delicious with friends. But together with tangy Cajun sauce, that's for close friends only.
What does it take to win Super Ratings Fund of the Year? Strong performance, competitive fees, and a focus on members. A super fund that delivers all three? That's a plus.
Big moment for the debutante at her first Host Plus SANFL League game. First time out on the ground for a half-time kick and catch with the old man. Already demolished her first footy pie. Cleans up. And now, Dadlock's in a beauty! And on this day of firsts, can she, will she make it stick? Yes, she can! What a moment for the youngster! SANFL, nothing beats it.
Welcome back here to Waikerie. It is 4-5-29 West. The Magpies 5-8-38. 9-point margin here. Tom Eglinton and Grant Coffey taking you through this afternoon's contest. SANFL now, AFL.com.au and the AFL app. We're going live and free on the AFL sites at the moment, which is great to see our league getting the exposure it deserves. Goal kickers, Stevens 2, McCormick and Morrish 1, all singles for Port Adelaide. Charleston, Cleary, Narkle, Sin and Sweet. Got some leading possessions, get us there for us, Koff.
Yeah, let's have a look at Port Adelaide first. Leading the way there, Josh Sin, 15 touches and a goal. Probably just about being their best off halfback, been really good. Tom Cleary, playing on the wing today, has had 13 touches and a goal. He's been very good and got 8 early, so he's been very busy. Cody Zust with 13, Logan Evans, Will Lorenz, Murphy Short with 11 each. And for West Adelaide, leading the way, Lucas Malign there, 16 touches. He's been really good across that half-back, kicks the ball really well. Kobe Ryan in the middle of the ground with 14 touches. Isaac Johnson playing his 50th game today, the skipper, with 11. So West Adelaide, you would have thought maybe Port Adelaide was just starting to get away in this game. They've got out to, 20-odd points in that second quarter. But they kicked the last 2 goals out of nowhere, really. They worked really hard, and they would give themselves half a chance here going into the halftime break. I'm sure their coach, Adam Hartlett, would be very positive with how they finished that quarter off. And it's not as though they haven't had plenty of opportunities to score. They probably could have kicked 2 goals earlier in that second quarter as well, but didn't make the most of the opportunities. Port Adelaide, as we know, they've got plenty of talent around the ground. In defence, they're pretty experienced. And Tom Scully, who's playing full forward today, he's got a really tough job today on Josh Ryan as well, who's probably winning that battle. So I'm really enjoying the ruck contest at the moment with Big Jordan Sweet and also Dylan Bramich. It's probably pretty even. Both players have had their fair share of the footy. Jordan Sweet went forward and kicked a goal, so it probably puts him just ahead. But a pretty entertaining game of footy. Beautiful conditions here at Waikerie. No breeze at all here, so it's going to be a pretty good contest, I would think, for the second half.
It is. Well, Josh Sin called that lovely left foot shot through at the 22nd minute mark of that second quarter, and then Tommy Morris and Joel Stevens were able to bring it back to 9 points. You mentioned the ruck contest. The hit-outs are favouring Port Adelaide 23-8, but you do expect that, but it's the contest Bramich is putting in.
Yep.
And the clearances are actually 15-18 in favour of Port. It's the inside 50s that are the big difference. 27 Port have had, just the 14 for West. So in the middle, they're in and around the contest every time. It's just when they do go forward or they take an instant mark across half-back, it's just straight back in from Port, and that's where they're really struggling. And at some point, over number of entries, they're going to be able to kick more goals. But they do give themselves a big sniff right on the eve of half-time.
Yeah, certainly. And they'd like it maybe, Ned Stevens and Liam Delahunty to maybe get a bit more footy around the goal. They've pushed up pretty high up the ground. But maybe if they can get hold of the footy inside forward 50 to give them another scoring opportunity as well, that'll sort of open the avenue to goals for West Adelaide. But Port Adelaide, they've got blokes pushing down the ground as well, as we saw, as you mentioned, Josh Sin with that goal late in the second quarter. Tom Cleary's playing on the wing, pushed down and got that goal. Quinton Narkle playing through the midfield was another one. A great goal, just about goal of the day so far. So they've had a lot of their midfielders that have pushed forward, that have kicked a lot of their goals as well. And that goal by Joel Stevens, who's kicked 2, he's the only multiple goal kicker in both sides. So it's been a pretty even contest so far.
It has, and don't want to harp on about it. Callum Park, probably the kick in for West. It's probably a big miss for them. Not that he hits a scoreboard a lot, but it's just that zone where they're sort of struggling with a little bit.
The problem is they sort of get that ball sort of centre wing half-back area, and they're very stagnant moving the ball. They just need to, that kick needs to roll on straight away. And you could see there when they got the ball over the top of that little zone that Port Adelaide have got through the middle of the ground, they've got the pace there to run onto the footy, and that's how they got those 2 late goals in that second quarter. So they need to do more of that in the third.
Absolutely right, Koff. Well, we will go back for another break here at halftime. West Adelaide 4-5-29, Port 5-8-38. It is a 9-point margin on SANFL now, afl.com.au and the AFL app. We'll be back here for all the second half here at Waikerie. Welcome back to Waikerie SANFL Now's coverage of the Host Plus SANFL League season. As we get the siren for a 2-minute warning, it's round 2. West Adelaide 4-5-29, Port 4-8-38, 9-point leaders. And it'll be an interesting second half. West were able just to claw back and get within 9 points late in time on of the second quarter. Goal kickers, Stevens 2, McCormick 1, Morris 1, while for Port Adelaide, all singles, Charlson, Cleary, Narkle, Sin and Sweet. Ball winners there for us, Koff.
Yeah, for Port Adelaide leading the way, Josh Sin with 15, Tom Cleary and Cody Zeus 13, and for West Adelaide, Lucas Malign 16, probably their best player today, and Kobe Ryan through the middle with 14. And we're also doing the 3-2-1, is that right, Tom? We're going to keep an eye out for that. So
yes, Koff, you'll be on the 3-2-1s for the SANFL Now Player of the Year at the end of the day. A few players that could feature in that.
Yeah, maybe Josh Sin at the moment, and is leading the way there, maybe for a 3, but plenty of footy to go.
Plenty of footy to go, a whole half in fact. We mentioned obviously the SANFL Now Player of the Year, 3-2-1 from Koff at the end of the day. Also the Russell Ebert Tribute Match medal. Xavier Dersma back in 2022 and Tom Scully last year with his 4 goals winning the medal for the player judged best on ground in the Russell Ebert Tribute Match. It is West versus Port. Port lead by 9 points at halftime in Waikerie, as players just start to find their way back to position. What do West need to do to win from here, Koff?
A bit more decisive through the middle of the ground. We saw them turn the ball over a number of times there, sort of coming through that half-back wing position. I think they just need to roll on, just play a bit quicker footy in that area, because they've shown that as Port Adelaide push up the ground, if they can get over that zone, they've got the pace to match them on the outside. So that'll be the key for Westies to get back into this game.
Sweet, down. Handballs out towards Evans. Kobe Ryan was lurking as well. Searle just overrun it at a vital time. Francis Evan inside forward 50 towards Scully. Couldn't collect on the half volley. Gave a good handball to Lorenz, who got it off towards a teammate, Narkle. Kick around the corner from Evans. Hit it high rather than long. Wiedemann lurking back with the flight. Courageous. Couldn't complete it in the end. Vicentini trying to get around 1 and 2. Could be holding the ball. Spilled over the boundary line. It'll be a boundary throw-in. 20 metres out from the Port Adelaide goal, and we've only gone 40-odd seconds or so, and they're already on top straight away.
Yeah, good tackle there by West Adelaide, because Scully looking to give the handball off. Could have been another goal for Port, but well done by West Adelaide.
So Vicentini probably wins down, but Bramich is now wrapped up immediately by Narkle. That one holding the ball. Didn't think Big Bramich had too much time.
And that's his goal as well. You know, he doesn't have the height to maybe match him in the tap-outs, but just his second efforts around the footy have been really good.
Vicentini, tap down. Kobe Ryan wrapped up immediately by Evans, and it's a sling. So Ryan, 40 metres from his defensive goal. He goes short up to Moline. Called to play on, up the line.
Probably West Adelaide's best, Moline, being good.
Mark taken by White, who goes towards the outer side. Morris handballs over the top, and they can just run themselves into a little bit of space. High up and under kick, but it's 3 prison bar jumpers sitting in the hole. Mark is taken simply. Just had a little bit more time on the outer side. As the Magpies will go up the line. Josh Ryan did well to get rid of Scully.
He's pushed him under the footy a number of times. They just too bigger bodied and too much experience at the moment.
So it was Ryan who now finds Searle. He goes towards 30 from Holmes. Couldn't complete the mark there, Stevens. A tackle laid 25 out from goal. We'll have a ball up in front of the scoreboard, which shows 4-5-29 to 5-8-38. No score since the main break.
It's a different layout, that scoreboard too. It is confusing me.
It confused me the whole first quarter. When we didn't have a goal on the board, Koff, I was awfully confused. Narkle. It's White for company. Could have gone into the back. We'll have a ball up just inside the boundary, where it is 9 points the margin, still in favour of Port Adelaide. 2.5 gone. Throw it up again. Sweet. Tap out. Tackle laid immediately by Anastopoulos. Big apologies to Tom. Anastasopoulos, I think is the correct pronunciation. I'll get it right by the end of the day. Sweet. Just gets rid of his direct opponent and now kicks the ball long up the line, but it's out of bounds on the full. It'll be a free kick to Josh Ryan.
It's a great side here. Because there's so much grass over the boundary line, people are able to sit inside the fence here at Waikerie.
Front and centre roved well. Handball come back in board. Port able to work it through a chain of handballs. Anastasopoulos now gets the ball. He'll come grandstand side. Kick not his best. Johnson picks it up, gets away from his direct opponent. Howe has a bit of time and space, goes towards the hot spot. How does it sit? Through Stevens. Picking this one up now is Byrne. Handball. Trying to get on 1 and 2. Kick around the corner. It's going to go through for the Bloods. Something out of absolutely nothing.
It was Redfern again there, Tom. Great goal. His first goal of the game.
So Redfern, and they were just, the kick in from Johnson wasn't the greatest, but Port found themselves under too much pressure, able to work it around, and they get themselves back within 3 points. Luke Redfern with his first of the day.
And it was Port Adelaide who probably tried to bite off too much, trying to go across ground, and it gave Isaac Johnson an opportunity to swoop on the footy, kick the ball inside forward 50, and then it was just some great teamwork that ended up with the footy in Luke Redfern's hands for the first goal of the quarter for West Adelaide.
We're 4 minutes into the third quarter, and at the 22-minute mark, or even technically at the 25-minute mark before Morris kicked that first goal, it was 21 points the margin. We're back within 3. We're under a goal at Waikerie. And those travelling from Adelaide or the local crowd here really enjoying the contest. Bramich and Sweet. Frost on hands and knees. Umpires circling.
Holding it here.
And holding the ball is the call. Free kick going to Moore. Handballs off quickly to Logan Evans. He wheels around onto the right boot. Scully and Ryan at the back. Vicentini came through but couldn't complete. Zust was lurking. Johnson comes in hard, the skipper in his 50th game. We'll have a ball up 40 metres out from the Port Adelaide goal.
Yeah, well, they're winning the battle. They've West Adelaide kept Vicentini pretty quiet. And as we mentioned, the match-up between Scully and also Josh Ryan on top on that one.
Hands and knees. Couple of players on holding the ball. It spills out now. Goes towards centre-half back for the Magpies. Redfern trying to pick it up. Has some company. He'll just get booed on ball. It's a foot race. Byrne and McCormick. Logan Evans there as well. 2-on-1 in favour of Port. The 2 win out as you'd expect from most of the time. Handball in now. Mackenzie wheels around on that booming left boot. Intercepted Ryan. Kobe Ryan up towards his skipper. Johnson on the half volley. That was superb. He'll get it back in the 1-2. He'll need to wheel onto his favoured left boot. And that's just going to go straight down the throat of Tom Cleary, who takes a real good defensive mark. And they can finally relieve a little bit of pressure at the moment, Port Adelaide.
Looks like they've moved Tom back into defence, Port Adelaide. Keep an eye on that. Started on the wing.
Just trialling a few things as they do.
That was a golden opportunity for West Adelaide then. Port turned the ball over in the middle of the ground. They could have made a bit more of that, Westies.
So Port on the outer side here at Waikerie. Able to work it up towards shallow 50. Back with the flight. Mark couldn't be completed. Minchella. They've got numbers here. Port Adelaide. It'll be a snap around the corner. Goes through for a goal. It's a sausage roll. It is now 5-5-35. Plays 6-8-44, I should say. And Port get one back. They probably needed that just a little bit. West had a little bit of a run on.
Yeah, Francis Evans, I think it was, for the goal, and that's his first one. He's had a few opportunities, Francis Evans, but that one there made sure of, and that's a good response by the Magpies team after 3 in a row to West Adelaide.
Yeah, Francis Evans, a big player to come into this side for Port Adelaide. Good names through this Port Adelaide SANFL side. Trent McKenzie, Josh Sin, Dylan Williams, Tom Cleary, Jordan Sweet. All the listed players you could argue could be playing league football anywhere else.
Yeah, well, McKenzie played all last year, but with the 2 bigs coming to Port Adelaide this year, he finds himself back in the SANFL.
So Sweet, almost over the top of Bramich. Bramich will now collect, handball towards Searle. Almost handball to himself. Sweet could have been held without it and was. It'll be a free kick to Jordan Sweet. Just let Brady Silver know about it a little bit. Little shove off the mark. Called to play on. Kick off the side of the boot. Lorenz, how does it sit for him? Has Johnson immediately. Handball came from Turner. He'll get it back himself. Josh Sin, class, goes towards the outside. Cody Zust has a handball towards Chamberlain. He wheels around onto the right boot towards 40 from goal. Mark not able to be completed. Now through Maguire. Chamberlain will collect for Port. Back to Sweet. And they're happy to just slow it up completely. All the way back to Cleary. Has Kyle Marshall broadcast side. Lorenz in a mountain of space. Found a paddock here at Waikerie. Set up shop with a farm or two. Kick wasn't his best. It was smothered in the end. Nick Moore was able to collect and pushed over the boundary line by Searle in the end. It'll be a boundary throw in. About 70 metres out from the Port goal. Nick Moore asking a question. Umpire says, let's get on with it, lads. Boundary throw in. Back to that 9-point margin. Ball thrown back into play. Sweet. Bramich tried to get it with his boot. Narkle. Moore. Thought going to go to Zust. Went shorter to Turner. Goes towards the pocket. Back with the flight. That was courageous from Jordan White.
Yeah, it was. Had to stand in the hole.
Goes short to Frost. Who handballs off to Kobe Ryan. He needs to get a bit more of the ball. And is starting to. Joel Stevens has McCormick over the top in a mountain of space. How does it sit for him? Has Cleary chasing him down. McCormick around the corner.
Oh, he's hit the post.
Off the post, as Koff said. It's a minor score, 5-6-36, plays 6-8-44. 8 points is the margin on SANFL now.
They just look so much better, Tom, West Adelaide, when they move the ball quickly through the middle of the ground, and that was a good example of it.
It was immediately inboard from Jordan White. Hit up Frost to Ryan, and then they're away through the outer side. Handball off. McKenzie up the line. Pack's going to form. No one able to complete in the end, and we'll have a ball up just outside the centre square on the outer wing here in Waikerie.
When you look at that kick from McKenzie and also Lucas Moline for West Adelaide, their kick is always perfect, but it's the timing, isn't it? You can hear it come off the boot.
Chamberlain. That didn't sound too great off the boot, that one. Wiedemann, close to the boundary line. You mentioned the boundary line and the spectators being able to see it as close as they can with no fence in front of them.
Yep.
Makes it a little bit harder in the box working out where that boundary line is, though. So we've got our boundary umpires out there doing a great job. Over the top there, Stevens almost had his head taken off, completely unintentional. He goes towards the pocket. Delahunty. Oh, Tom Cleary sits in the hole. Fantastic from him. That was absolutely brilliant, wasn't it, Koff?
It was, because Delahunty looked like he had to sit there, but he just held his ground. Tom Cleary took a strong mark.
So Cleary up the line. Through the hands. West Adelaide now through Bramich. Free kick hanging on. It'll be a West Adelaide ball. So Brady Sell. Long way from home. He'd be at least 80 if not 90 metres. Touched off the mark, Narkle. Handball's inboard. He gets it back in a 1-2. Sell goes in hard at Narkle.
Good tackle.
That's going to be holding the ball. So Brady Sell made a mistake, but he's gone back and got it.
Yeah, and he knew he had to because the kick was a poor one. So he went back and laid the tackle.
Good effort to get a piece of Quinton Narkle as well. If he got past, he was away. So Sell, no mistake into the man on the mark this time. Marshall goes with the fist. Free kick. Whistle's gone. West Adelaide, they desperately need this. Cinderberry will be the recipient. He'll have a shot from 45 metres out on approximately a 45-degree angle.
Yeah, he's been a bit quiet so far, as a lot of the West Adelaide forwards. But even if you have a quieter game, you might have a couple of nice moments, and this is one for West Adelaide.
Averages of 12 touches and 5 marks. Kicks from 46. Didn't look too pretty off the boot, but it's gone through for a goal. Cinderberry, and they absolutely get around him, and
a little bit of shove.
Yeah, a little bit of flying the flag going on that 25-metre arc. Still being held on to. Umpire's just telling him to get on with it, but it's a goal. They take nothing away from Cinderberry. It is a goal that gets them back within 2 points. It's first of the day, 12 and a half minutes gone on SANFL now, and who supports community footy in SA? Amy does. So we're back in the middle, and we are back with 2 points, as I said. Ball game is on here at Waikerie. West Adelaide's record in Waikerie over the course, 1-1. Back in 1994, they defeated South Adelaide here, and in 2009, they lost to Sturt. Port Adelaide not played at Waikerie. Port Adelaide have also won 7 of the last 10 between these two sides, and 14 of 19 since they became the Power Reserve side, and the listed players are playing for them. Anasopoulos, whistle's gone, free kick which way?
And Cinderberry having a run in the ruck too now.
So Anas Tassopoulos will have the ball 60 from home. Wheels around onto that right boot. Goes towards 30 from home. Vicentini had a fly. Narkle get around 1 and 2. Snap around the corner. Hits it on the wrong side of the boot. Lorenz in hard. Could be hanging on. Ball's just come out. It'll be close to the boundary, but won't quite make it. It'll come back in through Byrne. Narkle. And must have been touched and gone over the line. We've got a few edge of the window sills here that we can't quite see through. But it's a pretty good setup here in Waikerie for us in the broadcast box.
Yeah, great little town, Waikerie.
Ball back into play, no ruck able to get a hold of it. Johnson is a left footer, but he got a ball away to a right footer there in Kobe Ryan. Into the middle of the ground, Logan Evans has McCormick for company. Handballs off to Byrne, Maguire, Kobe Ryan. Long ball towards Delahunty, has Mackenzie for company. Spoil over the top. Could have been a push out. Mackenzie might have been taken high as well. Spins around 1 and 2. Delahunty from 40 metres out. Puts them in front. West Adelaide somehow, some way lead 4 points.
Yeah, great work by West Adelaide. And the handball that came out there, was that Joel Stevens who gave that handball? It was a fantastic handball. They all expected him to turn inboard, and he went outside and found Delahunty. And off a step, the kick was a beauty, straight through the middle of the goals. And West Adelaide, as you mentioned, they've hit the front, and they just look a bit too quick through the middle of the ground, Tom, to me, West Adelaide, when they get the ball rolling on and just their pressure and the kick once again just into space. And so they're playing some inspired footy at the moment, West Adelaide.
I think it's been a clear directive from the coach, Adam Hartlett, just to get the ball going quickly through the middle. It was slow and a bit dangerous, and they were trying to go through the middle in the first half, but it was not quick enough. Now it's quick, and they're opening up space. And Delahunty, who kicked 27 goals, 11 last year, made no mistake, 40 metres out. Cinderberry locked up by Moore. We'll have a ball up. Quick mention, Jack Miller, Zachary Packard and Michael Sporo, the field umpires. As the ball goes forward for Port Adelaide, Francis Evans tries to get back onto the right boot and does. Kick towards Scully. Oh, one hand if you don't mind from the big man, Tom Scully. He has a mark 40 metres out, 45-degree angle as an opportunity to go back and put Port Adelaide back in front. They trail by 4 points.
Had a shot on goal, Tom, in the first quarter and just missed that to the near side. Had a pretty tough day on Josh Ryan, who's an experienced fullback. But on that one there, just out on the lead.
Not a lot Josh Ryan could do. Tom Scully will kick from 43 metres. That's a goal. Port Adelaide are back in front here at Waikerie. It is 7-8-50, plays 7-6-48. 2 points is the margin. And who supports community footy in SA? Amy does. And they'll be really enjoying country community footy as well.
Yep. Goal for goal, and Big Bramich has come back onto the ground, gone straight in the ruck. The problem is for West Adelaide, when they give him a rest, it's like a bit of a free kick they're giving to, Big Jordan Sweet, because he towers over any other ruckman on the ground for West Adelaide and just pushes the ball forward, which he did a couple of times there. So they had to get Bramich back on as quick as possible.
Yeah, well, it's 13 centimetres Jai Cinderberry gives up against him. It's only 5 for Bramich, but he has the bit more body presence.
Yeah, and he jumps into them. That's what he does. Even if he doesn't get the tap, it's like a bit of a 50-50 contest anyway.
Sweet over the top. Searle. Port Adelaide now through Zust. Sweet in a bit of space. Kobe Ryan back out towards Zust. Didn't quite make it to him. Zust lays the tackle in the end. Ball up just outside the centre square. We have gone almost 20 minutes on SANFL now. Better make that almost 19 minutes. Sweet winning down. Zust in those bright green boots. Can't miss him. He comes back onto the right boot. Kick towards the hot spot. No one able to complete in the end. That could be holding the ball.
Oh, it's a sling, I think.
I didn't see the decision. Koff reckons it's a sling.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Whatever it is, it's a free kick to Port Adelaide. They'll have a shot from 40 metres out. Almost directly in front of goal.
There's obviously been a bit of a change in interpretation, protecting the head, so you can't sling players in this day and age, even though, the tackle looked okay, but a bit dangerous.
Port Adelaide for 2 in as many minutes like West Adelaide did to them. Walters in. Will kick from approximately 30 metres. The crowd getting a bit involved. And we'll hear the Bronx cheers from the West Adelaide faithful who aren't too happy with the decision. It's a minor score. They lead by 3 points now. It's West Adelaide 7-6-48. Port 7-9-51. Lockie Charleston with his first bind of the day to go with his goal earlier.
Yeah, the crowd are definitely getting into it. Nice day sitting on the sun. Maybe a couple of beverages.
Always drink responsibly up the line. Stevens couldn't complete the mark. Handball out towards Logan Evans. Has McCormick for company. He's been really good. McCormick taking a tackle. That's a sling as well. Do agree if the one in the goal for Port was a sling, that one's a sling as well. Called to play on. Johnson up the line. About 60 from home. Bramich. Rather Delahunty, I should say. Sin. Handballs off. Now finding themselves under a bit more pressure. That could be holding the ball. Is holding the ball.
Yep. Good tackle. Just held the arm so he couldn't get rid of it.
Kobe Ryan. It's a few numbers down there for West and a mark not taken. Cinderbury around 1. Goal. West Adelaide. So it is a goal. They are back in front. 8-6-54. Play 7-9-51.
And we mentioned Cinderbury as well. We mentioned Cinderbury and also Ned Stevens, that they had sort of quieter first halves, but all of a sudden, a couple of opportunities to Cinderbury. He's made the most of them. 2 goals already in this quarter, and that can be a good day out for a forward.
He's kicked 2 goals just in the last 8 minutes.
Yep.
They are in front, and for a point where we thought in the second quarter Port could just run away with it, West Adelaide have come out 4 goals won to 2 goals won this quarter. They're in front by 3 points. Topsy-turvy game. Chamberlain and Johnson having a few words to each other on the broadcast side. In the middle, Bramich able to run and jump at that. Moore immediately wrapped up by Frost. Tries to get away with it. And a few questions being asked out there by the players and spectators alike, and hear it through the effects mic here. We're going to have a ball up pretty much where we were. Bramich runs and jumps into Sweet. He brings it out of the ruck himself. Patton was lurking. Kick off the ground. West able to clear. Up towards Laddardo. Fly at the back. It was Stevens who wasn't able to complete. Kobe Ryan couldn't get the tackle in. Now it's Turner through the middle of Waikerie Oval. Moline sits in the hole. Called that a lot. Moline sitting in the hole. Cleary sitting in the hole at the other end.
And the beauty about Moline with his kicking, he can open up the play just with his long kick. Went short on that occasion.
Patton takes the mark. He'll go up the line. Bramich backing back. Narkle did well to not give away a free kick, but he didn't end up affecting it either. Murphy Shorts come from the ground limping as well. Kick from Bramich, not the best. No one really wanted to sit in that hole. Both in hard at the contest. Tackle is laid, and Port can clear towards the outer side to Vicentini, who has some company. Could be hanging on. Umpire says no, play on, get on with it. Handball came inside. Port have the option. Charleston on the arc of 50 takes a very simple mark in front of Patton. Sweet running in plenty of space. He goes back with the flight. He'll take a mark 40 metres out on a slide angle. And that is brilliant work from the big ruckman to get down there as quick as he did.
Yeah, no, you're right. And he knew that Bramich had just put in a big effort at the other end of the ground. So he had to run about 150 metres back the other way, and he just couldn't go with Big Sweetie on that occasion. So the big fella who has kicked one goal in the second quarter. So this is a pretty important kick in a low-scoring game.
His 10th SANFL game. He's kicked 7 goals. Will kick from 40. Umpire does a bit of work, too much work from a Port Adelaide point of view, but the West Adelaide fans behind the goal seem happy about that for some reason, Koff. It's a minor score. It is 8-6-54 West Adelaide. Port are 7-10-52. And I'll bring it back into play. The Bloods.
Former North Adelaide junior Jordan Sweet.
Yeah, I think from memory, the 2018 grand final, Boyd Woodcock, who played for the VFL last week, and the Port Adelaide AFL skipper Connor Rosie. All played together. Sweet gets it on the third time of asking. Stevens following Mackenzie, so no 25-metre penalty. Sweet up the line. Johnson sits in the hole. Skipper doing skipper things on his 50th game. He'll come up the line to broadcast wing. Stevens, front and centre. Couldn't complete. Zust lurking. Morris going to be wrapped up by the aforementioned Zust. It'll be a ball up directly in front of your SANFL Now commentary position on SANFL Now, AFL.com.au and the AFL app. Sweet. Taps over to Lorenz. Zust. Whistle's gone. Free kick given by the non-controlling umpire for too high over the head of Will Lorenz. Nick Moore wanted it short. Wheels around and just goes long. It'll go to about 40 from goal. Couple of flyers, no one able to complete. Johnson wheels onto the left boot, up the line. Stevens gets a fist on it. Mackenzie wanting a free kick. Lorenz goes to Mackenzie. He's a left footer. Gets onto the booming left peg. Intercepted fantastically down there, Minchella.
Give me a good player, Darcy Minchella. Like he's, you know, there's not much of him. He'd only be sort of 80-odd kilos, you'd think. So when he fills out, he's only 19 years of age, he's going to be a serious player.
Sweet couldn't complete the mark. More in hard. Over the top is Bramich and co. We'll have a ball up. 8-6-54, plays 7-10-52. Bramich in hard. Sweet got rid of him effectively. Bramich will just sit on this one and almost hatch it, but Jordan Sweet's got a hand in there keeping it in.
Yep. In a good contest though, the two big guys.
Very good contest. One down. Stevens backwards to Dylan White. High up the line. Plenty of Port Adelaide jumpers there. Mark taken by Marshall. Just had the call over the effects mark. 2 minutes from the bench.
Good
That's
kick.
a fantastic kick-off. Running into a mountain of space. Stevens almost there for the tackle. Whistle's gone. Hanging on.
Just about a professional free kick, that one, because Port Adelaide were away, so Westies can get some numbers back now.
So Evans clutching at the hamstring a little bit. This is Francis Evans, listed player, not to be confused with Logan Evans, part of the SANFL rookie program from Norwood. Goes inside Zust, tries to get around Bramich. That's a tough ask. How did he get rid of it? Umpire agrees, he threw it.
You're right there, Francis Evans, he's sort of limping. I think he might have rolled his ankle in that tackle.
We'll keep an eye on that. Murphy Shaw already went to the bench. We'll keep an eye on that as well. Have a look at three-quarter time. Up the line, Stevens with a fly. Searle front and centre. That could be high and is. Lorenz being told to just calm it down. And now gets told to put it to the top of the goal square. Who's going to fly? No one can complete the mark. Through a couple of pairs of hands. Spills out now. Lorenz. He's a left footer. Want to get back onto that. Zust around towards Anastelopoulos. Couldn't complete the mark. Tap goes forward. Bramich. He's going to put himself into space. Siren's gone. Holding the ball's paid. It'll be a free kick Port Adelaide. And they'll have it after the siren.
Gee, that's stiff. Right on the siren. You knew he was in trouble as soon as he got hold of the footy.
I don't remember if it was Bramich earlier in the game, but a big man definitely got caught holding the ball in a similar position. Jordan Sweat will go back and have an opportunity to put Port Adelaide in front at three-quarter time.
What's he going to do, Tom? He just missed one, the big fella. He did kick a nice one in the second quarter.
He's going to go back straight down now. SANFL now.
We'll back
Camera
him in.
lens.
We'll back him in.
Jordan Sweet. Leans back on it. It's through the middle though. It's a goal. Port Adelaide lead at three-quarter time. It is 8:6:54 to 8:10. To 8:10:58. I can't add up here in the commentary box. It is a 4-point margin to the Magpies. We'll quickly go through these goal kickers before we go for the three-quarter time break. For the Bloods, Cinderberry and Stevens both with 2. Singles to Delahunty, McCormick, Morrish and Redfern. While for the Magpies, Sweet, the only multiple goal kicker, he has 2. Singles to Charleston, Cleary, Evans, Narkle, Scully and Sin. We will take a break here on SANFL now, afl.com.au and the AFL app. It is Port Adelaide by 4 points at Waikerie.
Here we are at the Host Plus SANFL League. You can feel the intensity. Watching closely from the sidelines as the ball shanked from the flank. Heading out on the full. Sees his chance. Space around him. Cometh the moment. Cometh the man. The goal! Stolen by a mate. What a moment. Who saw that coming? He certainly didn't. SANFL. Nothing beats it.
Jerome picked up a bargain blender and juiced more than he expected. And Julio bought cheap car insurance with cheap accident repair. When it comes to the important stuff, don't risk bargain regret. Go here instead. Next time join the A-team, hey Julio. Worried about cheap insurance? Who offers great value cover you won't regret? Amy does.
40 crispy, juicy chicken McNuggets are delicious with friends. But together with tangy Cajun sauce, that's for close friends only.
What does it take to win Super Ratings Fund of the Year? Strong performance, competitive fees, and a focus on members. A super fund that delivers all 3? That's a plus.
Big moment for the debutante at her first Host Plus SANFL League game. First time out on the ground for a half-time kick and catch with the old man. Already demolished her first footy pie. Cleans up. And now, Dadlop's in a beauty! And on this day of firsts, can she, will she make it stick? Yes, she can! What a moment for the youngster! SANFL. Nothing beats it.
Welcome back to Waikerie on SANFL now, afl.com.au and the AFL app. We're here thanks to Amy, who support community footy. It is West Adelaide 8-6-54, Port 8-10-58, Tom Eglinton and Grant Coffey. And Coffey, you got some leading disposals for us there, mate?
I do have. Let me just get those up, Tom. Leading the way, let's have a look at Port Adelaide first. Leading the way for Port Adelaide, Josh Sins had 20 touches across halfback, also a goal. Cody Zuster's been very busy in and around the footy. He's had 18. Will Lorenz, who we called a few times in that quarter, he's had 17 touches. Tom Cleary, who looks like he's moved back in defence now, 16 touches and a goal. Jordan Sweet, a pretty good game by Big Sweetie actually. 16 touches, 2 goals, 1. He's kicked, so he's been good. Francis Evans has been busy at half forward, 15 touches and a goal. For West Adelaide, leading the way for them is Kobe Ryan with 22 touches. Isaac Johnson, the skipper, playing his 50th game, has been good with 18. Lucas Malign, 18 touches. Probably a bit quieter that quarter. Brady Searle with 14. So pretty evenly matched. And remembering, we're going to pick the 3-2-1. And probably leading the way for Port Adelaide at the moment is probably Jordan Sweet and Josh Sin are the two, and maybe Kobe Ryan and Lucas Malign for West Adelaide.
Yeah, Kobe Ryan really come into that third quarter. Quick look at the team stats. Possession, 53% to Port. They lead the mark 71-63. The tackles, West lead 51-45. It's the hit-outs, 39-9 in favour of Port. But only 10 more clearances, but they have got 18 more inside 50s. Free kick count, which everyone loves to have a look at. 19-17 in favour of West. I think the umpires have been pretty good all day. Their tough job, and they've done their job well. Sweet wins down. Evans was lurking. Wrapped up. We'll have another stoppage. So it is 4 points the margin.
First goal important, obviously, but for West Adelaide, they don't want Port to get that first one, to get that mini break on them.
That's exactly right, Koff, and we'll do it all again in the middle. And it is 4 points. It is 8-6 plays 8-10, so 4 behinds. That's what Port Adelaide lead by. Sweet brings it down to himself. Bramich later tackle. That'll be high. It'll be a free kick, Port Adelaide. There's Charleston going in really hard at the contest. In fact, Turner in hard at the contest. So Aiden Turner goes towards the arc of 50 mark. Couldn't be completed. Good spore from behind. Zus couldn't lay the tackle in the end. Ball's just cleared up towards the outer side.
Good mark.
And super mark. Mackenzie. He'll go left boot up the line. They're making them work for it a little bit more, West Adelaide. Port can now go inside forward 50. 25 from home. Spills out the back. Just had too much on it in the end. Evans comes in and lays a tackle. There'll be a ball up 25, 30 metres out from the Port Adelaide goal. It is 8-6-54. Plays 8-10-58. 4 points is the margin on SANFL now. AFL.com.au. And of course the AFL app. Trying to bustle through. Maybe did a little bit too much. And it's a bit stoppage after stoppage at the moment, Koff.
Yeah, it is. And I was just keeping an eye on one of the West Adelaide boys who was down the other side of the ground with a bit of cramp. And it's actually pretty warm out there today, so it's been sort of mid-20s today.
It has brought a jumper, hoping not to need it, and I definitely haven't. Very warm.
Tom Morris it was, but he's all okay. He's up and about. Bit of a stretch.
Could be in the back and
free
is.
Kick, yep.
Simple one to give as an umpire. Vicentini not thrilled about it, but touch play on Zakol. Frost through his hands. Kobe Ryan and Frost now wrapping up Zust. Ball up, 55 out. Port still lead 4 points. It is the 3/4 time score. Jordan Sweet put them in front after the siren with a holding the ball call on Bramich. He now gets the ball out the ruck. Handballs towards Johnson. He's a left footer, needs to get back onto it. Handballs inside, whistle's gone. Play on Zakol. Redfern in a mountain of space. No one will catch him. He
Keep
can run
going
as far as he wants. Has Logan Evans for company now. Gets boot on ball. Will it trickle through? On the line, it's a goal. West Adelaide hit the front. Luke Redfern, that was brilliant. And a goal is kicked on the line.
Dylan McCormick, I think it was, Tom.
West Adelaide now hit the front by 2 points. And if it is Dylan McCormick, it is.
And how was the run by Luke Redfern? And the kick wasn't the prettiest kick you've ever seen, but it did the job, didn't it? Out in front. Ended up being a bit of a torpedo inside forward 50, but just the run and carry. That's where they've just been too quick in this second half for Port Adelaide through the middle of the ground with blokes like Redfern.
Redfern streamed through the middle. Logan Evans had to come at him, and then it just opened up a little bit more space. And thankfully, for a West Adelaide point of view, the kick wasn't pretty off the boot, but it was straight enough that McCormick could run into an open goal and get boot on ball. We are back in the middle. West lead. Moore. Brumich is lurking. Lays a good shepherd. I don't know if it was entirely intentional as Searle breaks out the middle, goes towards the Delahunty direction. Oh, immense work at the back of the pack from Mackenzie. Goes up the line, just travels the required 15 metres. Josh Sin. Sin wheels around. Left boot up the line directly in front of your SANFL now commentary position. Johnson. Rosewell. Ladado.
Oh, well done.
Runs, plays on, has a shot from 40. How does it go? Ladado! Off the post. He just started up there, Coffin. It slowly started to come back. Not back far enough.
Yeah,
it is a minor score.
He didn't time it real well off the boot. He seemed to kick it sort of high up on the foot. And, but it was exciting stuff, West Adelaide.
9-7-61, plays 8-10-58. We're set for a good finish here on SANFL now. Up the line. Scully, off his hands. Moore was lurking. Port first on the scene. Evans will take a good mark. It was a kick from Turner. Narkle, too much space for him. He goes in towards the hot spot. Mark can't be completed. Picked up around the corner. Kick now. Is that Williams out in a bit of space down the forward line? Yeah. It is still Williams.
Yeah, they've moved him to, looks like he's down at full forward at the moment. He actually played his junior footy as a forward, but then obviously got his opportunity at AFL level as a half-back. But they're trying to find a goal at the moment, Port Adelaide, so they've decided to throw him down there.
I thought it was him running at us, and I went, it couldn't possibly be. And it was. He wheeled around onto his left boot and just didn't quite get the result he wanted. It was a minus score. So 8-11-59. Plays 9-7-61. Sin goes back inside forward 50. Anastolopoulos couldn't complete. Working it through hands now, Ryan. Towards the outer side, short kick to Johnson.
Lucky.
Another one that's required, gone the required distance, just all 15 metres of it. Johnson goes back to Josh Ryan. And they're able to work it to the outer side. Moline will be the next option.
Yep.
Searle. Where's he going to go? He's just going to boot it to the 50-metre arc where there's plenty of space. Joel Stevens. Wheels around. Goes towards the hot spot. No one able to complete the mark. Cleary is lurking. Delahunty through a couple of pairs of hands. Port able to work it as best they can. They'll come grandstand side. Charleston gets around one. Doesn't quite get around two. The ball's going to go shallow. West Adelaide mark. Quick kick to Kobe Ryan, who had to do well to take that in the end. Johnson calling for it. On the arc of 50, Kobe Ryan wheels around. Has a ping from 55. It doesn't quite have the accuracy. McCormick in a 2-on-1 against.
He's taken it.
You are kidding me. He's actually taken the mark.
He's taken it over the back of Big Jordan Sweet. That is an unbelievable mark.
And Trent McKenzie down there as well, I think it was. That is absolutely brilliant. Dylan McCormick.
Needs to think his way through this. Don't rush himself.
For his third of the day. To put them out to an 8-point lead. He's a left footer. The correct side. Snaps.
Oh, he's missed it.
Almost missed a lot. It's a minor score. 9-8-62. Plays 8-11-59. Tom Eglinton and Grant Coffey with you from Waikerie. It is a 3-point margin.
Just gave that one too much, didn't he? Just needed to be a bit softer on the kick. Didn't need much.
Narkle up high. He's going to go long. Looks like both sort of game plans out the window or changed at least. Let's just get it long in. White did well. Ryan almost on hands and knees is now. He's tackled. Umpire's circling, but it'll be a ball up. It's very much a let's get the ball forward at any means necessary.
Yep.
Sweet, out of the ruck, Frost. Couldn't get it. Narkle, snap from 40. Touch play on, I think, Sakul, I heard. Could have been held without the footy. Patton now lurking out of the contest. Handball back to Evans. Francis variety. It's a goal. A claim of touch off the boot, but it's a goal. Port Adelaide are back in front by 3 points. Francis Evans kicks a goal.
Yep, that's his second one, Tom. He kicked one in the third, now that one there. And just made something out of nothing, Port Adelaide.
Yeah, the kick-in board wasn't great originally, and somehow they were just able to get it, and then a handball come in board to Evans sitting at the top of the square, and can't leave players free, and players of his quality free right there.
Yeah. And West Adelaide be ruining that missed chance. They miss one and it goes down the other end, and Port Adelaide get one to put themselves back in front. Goal for goal.
Well, yeah, McCormick misses. He's kicked 2-3 today.
Yeah.
Throws aloft. Sweet.
Sindleberry back in the ruck for Westies.
Moore. Handballs off to Zust. He has plenty of space. Goes towards Scully. Touch play on Zakul. Through the hands of Ryan in the end. Evans in there again. Ball up, 40 out from goal. Port lead by 3 points. They won this game last year as well. Last time they actually played at Alberton. Port 10-point victors. Evans and Sin had a day out that day as well. We'll have another ball up, 3 points is the margin. Not playing today, Cullen Parker, 29 touches and a goal that day. Tap down, just lurking. Ball unable to be cleared, finally is now for West Adelaide. They need a mark, they couldn't complete it. Through Stevens, off the ground, here's an opportunity. Just trying to get it forward by any means necessary. Could be in danger, and was. Correct decision for Minkoff.
Well, it happened that quickly. I didn't really see the Port Adelaide player there. I was just watching the little toe poke. I'm thinking, he just need to tap this in front of him, and he did it, but unfortunately gave the free kick away.
So Port on the outer side, Narkle. Another one you can't give this much space to. The kick, though, that time from Narkle, probably had a bit too much on it. Oh, it sits nicely. Runs towards 47. Has a flying shot at goal, and Port Adelaide extend the lead. 10-11-71 to 9-8-62. And the Magpies have got that break that they needed.
Yeah, that was a very good goal there. Running inside forward 50 and deep in that pocket. And that was an absolute ripper.
Bailey Chamberlain it was.
Bailey Chamberlain, yep.
Interesting.
That's his first goal of the game.
First goal of the game, but 19 games for West Adelaide over the last few seasons.
Yep.
Now with the Port Adelaide program at SANFL level. It's a 9-point margin. It was 21 points game high at the 22nd minute mark of the second term. Umpire back in the middle. Bramich winning down. Searle handballs inboard. Frost trying to get past Zust and does. He closes towards 52. Couple of calls of how far. Does it sail through? It does. Wrong side of the post though. Minor score 9-9-63. Plays 10-11-71. 8 points as a margin on SANFL now. We have gone 12 and a half minutes. Both sides giving it their all, aren't they, Koff?
They definitely are. And that would have been a nice little reward there for West Adelaide if that went through. It was a good kick right on 50.
Mackenzie, that booming left boot up towards Centre wing, Bramich couldn't control. Evans, handballs. Patton going in hard with Narkle. He goes back to White. That was Jordan, then to Dylan White. Up the line, Searle went in the back of Moore, and that's a simple one. And then didn't return the ball on the full. Might have had a 25 as well. But Nick Moore, the skipper. I mentioned earlier, Johnson and Nick Moore both wearing the traditional number ones. Then Nick Moore decided to lose the number one off the back of his jumper and opted for 68. So Evans, up the line, towards the arc of 50. Josh Ryan off a couple of pairs of hands. Did bring it down, spills out. Frost could have been taken high. Umpire says no play on. I think it was Sweet there laying good tackle. We'll have a ball up just outside the arc of 50. 8 points is the margin. Bramich probably winning that one down. Whistle's gone, free kick too high. Port Adelaide free kick. They lead by 8 points. And they have a free kick 60 metres out, Lockie Charleston. Too far out to score. I suggest too far out to score, but he's gone back a little bit confidently.
Just to chew a bit of time up, I would have thought.
And the umpire happy to call play on, realising he's not having a set shot at goal. Almost a snap around the corner. West now try and clear out towards Stevens. Sitting in the hole nicely is Wiedemann. Good handball off to Cleary. Ignores in the end. Will let it go by foot to Cleary. 55, 60 metres from goal. Wheels around. Towards the hot spot.
That's
Mark almost taken. It was just flicked out of the hands at the last moment. Zus got a handball out. Evans around 1-2. Snap around the corner. Bramich playing goalkeeper. Goes through for a minor score anyway. I think just got a hand on the attempted mark. It is 10-12-72. Plays 9-9-63. 9 points is the margin. SANFL now. AFL.com.au and of course the AFL app. Tom Eglinton and Grant Coffey with you this afternoon in Waikerie. As West go towards the outer side. Patton through his hands. Fist over the top from Mackenzie. Nothing pretty about that, but let's just get it out of play.
And West Adelaide, they've been trying to get Kobe Ryan back on the ground, which they've just done, but been off for a little while.
Amazes me how that always seems to happen at crucial parts of the game.
Well, you just don't go off in the first place. That'll solve it.
Vicentini into the ruck at the moment. Handball. Johnson lurking over Chamberlain, who put them over a goal up a few minutes ago. The umpire throws it back aloft. Bramich. White. Up and under kick. Marshall close to the boundary line. Mackenzie. Handballs off to Byrne, who has Ryan, who's made an immediate impact. Won't be rewarded for the tackle, but I think we'll have a stoppage now. So it's 9 points here, Koff. We've gone 16 minutes. We're still well and truly in this game.
Yep. And Mackenzie there. He's been good today, Mackenzie. Kept Ned Stevens very quiet.
Bit vocal, the crowd now as Port Adelaide work it off the outer side. Scully tried to get rid of Ryan. Ryan did well. Scully did even better because he did not give away a free kick. Got a handball away to Zust, who has a shot from 40. Goes towards hotspot at the back of the pack. Couldn't be completed. Dylan Williams almost off the ground. It's getting real tight in there. Jordan Sweet asking the question for deliberate, but under pressure, you're allowed to take it over. 10 points is now the margin. Evans back with the flight. Courageous, good mark. Has an option. Short Lorenz. 9-9-63. Plays 10-13. 73. Lorenz being told to kick now. Called to play on. Goes towards the pocket. Puck forms. Fist over the top from Patton was good. Just kills the ball, as we saw Mackenzie do moments ago. 10 points is the margin now. We've gone 7.5 minutes on SANFL now. Both sides got beaten comfortably last week by 64 and 66 points respectively. Both looking for their first win. Evans lurking with intent. Picks it up now. Tries to get around one. tackled, somehow got the ball out.
Oh,
could be high. Umpire, I think, will say ducked into it.
Yeah.
And I think I'm okay with that. Nick Moore, it was at the bottom of the pack. He's a tough customer. He'll be all well with that. Bramich and Sweet. Sweet somehow won it down. A boot on ball. Gold Narkle. That happened that quickly. I didn't even see it. Quinton Narkle kicks the 11th. It is 11-13-79. West 9-9-63. And it was a big punch over the top from Sweet. And Narkle just must have run onto it. Wall the jumpers in the way. And it's a goal.
He's been good today, Jordan Sweet. One of Port Adelaide's best, if not the best today. And the hit forward to advantage, and Narkle ran onto it, got his second goal of the game. So going to be tough now for West Adelaide. Bit of a break to the Magpies.
Just had a quick look at the replay now. It was Jordan Sweet's fist. It was off someone else's hand, and then Narkle roved and goaled. And that's why they brought him in the mid-season draft last year. Still waiting for a prolonged opportunity at AFL level, but we mentioned a lot of these players probably get a game on another AFL list.
Yeah, well, that's right. He's obviously up against Big Soldo, who started the season well in the AFL team.
In the middle, we'll have a secondary stoppage here. No, almost brought out by Brady Sell. 16 points is the margin. Quinton Narkle was his second of the day. Kicked that beautiful goal where he ran through the middle of the ground and kicked from about 50. Kobe Ryan just somehow gets it out of the pack. Off towards the skipper Johnson. Has a bounce. Runs to 50. Has a shot at goal. How does it look? Does it have the accuracy? It does. It is a goal. They get it back to 10 points here at Waikerie. And the skipper in his 50th game kicks a much needed goal. His first of the day. To go with one from last week, kicked 9 last year, and none more important so far.
Yeah, no, it was a great goal, wasn't it? He's a beautiful kick of the football on the left, travelled about 50 metres, and one they needed. So they just need another clearance here quickly. Still plenty of time, 10-point margin.
Straight out the middle, Kobe Ryan. Could have had a couple of short handballs, went to go himself, and then saw Johnson breaking into a welder space. And he had the wherewithal to keep running, have a bounce, steady. And he took that steadying step, and that's why it went through the 2 big sticks. 10 points. No ruck truly winning down. Vicentini has Bramich for company. Narkle tried to get away from Searle. Did he get a handball on it? Umpire said yes. West Adelaide able to pick it up. Boot goes inside forward 50. Mackenzie's the first one there for Port Adelaide. He's a left footer. Goes with the outside of the left boot.
It's out in the full, is it?
It is out in the full cough. So he tried to go the outside the left boot. Port go inside forward 50. Free kick Port Adelaide. So it was a West going inside forward 50, and that's just a knee to the back. No malice in it.
No.
Going for the ball, but it's a free kick. Mackenzie sitting in the hole. So he gets an opportunity to make amends. 10 points is the margin. SANFL now. Mackenzie, that booming left boot, goes up to almost halfway. Both sides wanting a free kick as the ball now spills out. Centre of the ground, in hard at the contest, both players. That is brilliant from Sam May. Kobe Ryan, Moline. Able to go inside to shallow
Good
50,
kick.
Stevens.
He could kick this. He just needs to go back here, think his way through this.
Runs to 52, gets good purchase on it. The crowd absolutely love it here at Waikerie. Joel Stevens kicks his third of the day, and West Adelaide are back within 4 points here, Grant Coffey.
Yeah, and at the important times, they've been able to get the ball in their best kicks. So we saw there before, a goal there to Johnson, goal there to Stevens. So all of a sudden it opens up the play. They've been able to kick big goals from 50 metres. So West Adelaide are back in this game. You just thought the game was over, Tom, but 2 quick goals, anyone's game once again.
That it is, and that's host plus SANFL League action for you. Nothing beats it. We're in the country in Waikerie. Port Adelaide 2-0 in the Russell Ebert tribute match. So far, both of those games played at Loxton. We're at Waikerie today. Back in the middle. Bramich. More lurking. Kobe Ryan did well not to give away a free kick. Kobe Ryan does well in again. Gets in hard at the contest. Moline up the line. Good fly. Couldn't be completed by Lodato, who tried to get a handball away. Port player on the ground in a little bit of pain, but Moline goes towards the pocket at the back of the pack. McCormick have a fly. He couldn't bring it down. Goes over the boundary line for a boundary throw in. We have gone now 23 and a half minutes.
They need to get Jordan Sweet back in the ruck, which I think they've done. He's had a rest there, and West Adelaide have gained advantage in the middle of the ground while he's been off.
Jordan Sweet, we mentioned Bramich has a rest, Port get on top. Jordan Sweet has a rest. West not on top because they trail on the scoreboard. Lodato in hard, is wrapped up in a tackle. Got to be very careful not to give away a free kick. Don't want to sling anyone out of the contest. Means a lot to both these sides. Stevens, Ned Variety in the ruck. We'll have another ball up just outside the 25-metre dotted arc. Can't be too much time left here. Umpire throws aloft. Sweet wins down. Ball comes out the back. Joel Stevens handballs off, kick around the corner. They've done it. They've hit the lead here at Waikerie. The crowd are absolutely up and about. They're in front. 2 points. 12-9. 81 plays 11-13, 79, and we have an absolute thriller on our hands here. It's Ned Stevens. So the two Stevens boys combining for the last 2 goals. They've kicked 4 between them.
I mentioned earlier in the game when we were talking about Cinderbury that sometimes as a forward you're not having the best day, but you can have a moment, and that's what Ned Stevens just had then. He's had a pretty tough day against Trent McKenzie today, but all of a sudden he just put it on the boot, instinct kicked in, and he put it straight through, and West Adelaide have hit the front.
25 minutes gone, Coffin. A side losing the hitouts 12-53 are in front. They're losing the inside 50s by 15 as well, and the clearances by 6. 25 and a half minutes gone on SANFL now. Ball bounces down. Sweet with the tap down. Whistle's gone, free kick West Adelaide. The crowd are really starting to get into it, Coff.
Yeah, they need to go forward here though. They can kick the ball inside 50 here. I wouldn't be getting too cute.
They're going to go towards the flank. Mark the footy's the call from in front. Mark is taken.
Now, I think that was the big fella, Cole Marshall. He sort of nudged him on the side there, Joel Stevens, and took the mark. And as we saw before, he's got the distance in him here, Tom.
He does. Joel Stevens kicked from just outside 50 a few moments ago. They lead by 2 points.
A goal wins it for West Adelaide.
We are 26 minutes gone. Called to play on. Not a good looking kick off the boot. Front and centre, who's there? It's just tapped through for a minor score, and that's actually smart football from Port Adelaide. Does nothing really to the game. They lead by 3 points instead of 2, and they have the footy.
That's probably his worst kick for the day. He never got onto that, did he?
Oh, unfortunate from a West Adelaide point of view. Here the Magpies come to the centre of Waikerie Oval. Searle laying a tackle. In the back's the call. Port Adelaide with the kick. Turner. They need to work back hard. Moline back with the flight. Did not know what was there. Courageous mark. 3 points is the margin. Short kick up the line.
Nearly 27 minutes gone, Tom. There can't be much time, surely.
You wouldn't think so, Coff. West Adelaide. Deep up the line. Ball spills out the back. Clury. Could be holding the ball. Crowd want it. Umpire says no play on. In fact, it might even be McKenzie on the bottom.
Yeah, it was McKenzie. I think he hurt himself.
And the pull's gone up. Cross of the arms from the umpire. I think it was, McKenzie in the end on the bottom of the pack it was. Just making sure he's all okay.
Yeah, no, he's a bit groggy, I think.
No, we've got a game of footy on, but we've got to make sure our players' health is being taken care of. That's the first and foremost thing out here, folks. It's a bit of blood, I think it definitely is, with the arms being crossed.
The blood rule. So number 47, Cody Zust, has come onto the ground. Mackenzie, who's such an important player for them, who's really kept Ned Stevens quiet, but obviously Ned's kicked that goal to put them in front. They can't afford to have him off for too long.
Will not be much time left. I'm just going to wait for Kenzie to clear the field. All right, we'll have a ball up. 60 out. Sweet, out of the ruck. High up and under kick, does not travel far at all. Mark couldn't be completed. Handball, Porter away. Zust. Oh, that's tackle. Holding the ball.
Good tackle.
Brady Sell, the former Tiger, might enjoy his first win in red and black. It's 3 points. 2 minutes is the call from the boundary. So still a little bit of time. Going towards the pocket. No mark able to be completed. Very close to the boundary line. Stacks on the mill. For a game that Port Adelaide could have run away with at the end of the second quarter, West find themselves 3 points up. With probably a minute to go, judging by the signals on the bench. Ball not being allowed out. Now it is. West can go towards the top of the square. Cleary with a fantastic fist in. Redfern and Maguire lay a tackle. And it'll be a ball up 15 metres out from the West Adelaide goal. Umpire throws aloft. Cinderberry, a closer line. I think they'll happily take this one. Three, is it put on ball? No.
Didn't get it.
1 minute, the sign's just been turned around. 1 minute to go. They lead by 4 points now. Called to play on, he doesn't realise he's got someone right next to him.
No, you can't do it.
I thought he was called to play on. That's the only thing I'm a bit confused about, but they know what they're doing. Cleary brought up to the middle of the ground. Turner looks to go towards the hot spot. 20 from home, needs a mark.
Good
there's
mark.
a mark there. Liam Delahunty's gone back into defence and taken an absolute ripper, and that plausibly seals it for the Bloods.
One more mark, maybe two. They need to get out of defensive 50, and then that could seal it.
Will Patton got a booming left boot on him. He uses it and goes up the line. Who's sitting there sweet at the back? Cleary in back. But it is the Bloods of West Adelaide victorious today. 12-11-83, defeating Port Adelaide 11-13-79. It is a 4-point margin to the Bloods. We'll quickly go through the goal clickers. Joel Stevens has 3, McCormick with 2, Cinderberry 2, Delahunty, Johnson, Morris, Redfern and Ned Stevens with 1. While for Port Adelaide, multiples to Evans, Narkle and Sweet with 2 apiece, and singles to Chamberlain, Charleston, Cleary, Scully and Sin. They lost the hit-outs 13-54 and have won the game by 4 points. For a side like West Adelaide, who hasn't really been towards the top of the ladder, it's a big win, Koff.
Yeah, it was a big win because I think 2 or 3 times they were gone, weren't they? They got at least 2.5 goals behind. At one stage, they were 21 points down in that second quarter, and you thought that they couldn't come back. But they just kept finding a way. They kicked a couple of goals in a row a couple of times during the game just to get themselves closer and closer. And in the second half, they just started to move the ball a bit quicker. And they just had too much pace through the middle of the ground, and then they just started to make some opportunities for themselves inside forward 50. So it was a really good performance by West Adelaide. A lot of good performers both sides. And we also have to give the 3-2-1 to Tom. And I had a bit of a look-see, and I'm going to actually go with Kobe Ryan in the end for BOG today. Jordan Sweet and himself just about a tie, but I'm going to go with the winning side on this one. Jordan Sweet will be the 2 votes. And then I'm going to give 1 vote to Francis Evans. He was really good today, 22 touches and 2 goals too at half forward. He was really good, but a real even performance by both teams today. Had a lot of good contributors, but a pretty impressive win actually by West Adelaide. We mentioned at the start of the game how young they were, and there's so much AFL experience in this Port Adelaide side, so a fantastic win, and Adam Hartlett would be really happy with that.
Yeah, well, on the West Adelaide side, Josh Ryan 28, Isaac Johnson 26, everyone else 25 or under. Port Trent McKenzie 32, Tom Cleary 30. Still a few young kids to come through. Quinton Narkles 26. But look, for West Adelaide, as I said, they've not been where they want to be. A win like this today in the skipper's 50th as well, it's just absolutely brilliant for the football club. For Port Adelaide, they were good, if not probably the better side for the first half.
Yep.
But West Adelaide just popped up when it mattered. Narkles' goal was at the 18.5-minute mark of the fourth quarter, put them 16 points up, and West Adelaide still managed to win. So
yeah, no, they were good, and you know he kicked 2 goals. Joel Stevens kicked a couple of goals when they really needed them. That goal he kicked in the last quarter, the long one. Him and Isaac Johnson kicked 2 really good goals from right on 50, and it was fantastic work. We mentioned Ned Stevens. What a great contest it was Trent McKenzie, who went off with a blood rule late in that quarter and probably won the duel. But Ned Stevens, he kicks the winning goal, and that's the one that matters. And you know, you had your moment as a forward, and he certainly did on that occasion.
Exactly right. So we are going to have some presentations here. We will stick around for them. Obviously, the Russell Ebert tribute match. Port Adelaide winning 2022 and 2023. West Adelaide getting the first one on the board in 2024. Also, the Russell Ebert medal is handed out for the player just best on ground. Xavier Dersma in 2022 and Tom Scully last year for 4 goals. Koff's given his 3 votes to Kobe Ryan. I think he was pretty instrumental in that last quarter.
He was. Jordan Sweet, I think if Port Adelaide won, you'd go with Jordan Sweet. He was very good all day. He, clearances, taps. He also kicked 2 goals as well. So, you could, mount an argument as well. It wouldn't surprise me if they decided to pull Jordan Sweet out as the BOG, but Kobe Ryan we went with here in the box. He was really good and a good young player. He's going to play 200 plus games for West Adelaide, so he's a future captain of the club, no doubt about that.
Yeah, well, if they can keep him before not being lured anywhere else, either the next level or elsewhere, is that he will play a lot of footy and he'll be a big part of this football club if they can just get to that next step, play some finals and really push towards the top end of the ladder. Still probably a little bit away for them, but there's some promising signs. They weren't that bad against the Eagles last week. They had 1 quarter where they were brilliant, and then the rest of the game they weren't the greatest, and they've just got to put it together for more than a quarter, 2 quarters, and get it all together.
Yep, we can see the trophy coming over now.
So it looks like we are almost ready for the presentations for the I'll get the great man's name right, Russell Ebert tribute match. And what a great man Russell Ebert was, as we will take the audio from down there. It might not be the greatest, but we'll have a listen in.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's working, actually. It's too far from the... So the mic, I think it's too far from the...
however it works, I don't know how it works. Receiver?
The receiver, yeah.
Good to see we're up here with the microphones, so we know what we're talking about. Don't think we're quite picking up too much.
No, there's no audio.
Yeah. So we're obviously got the camera down on them, just having a quick chat. We'll just let a bit of the ambience play out. So
there you go, Kobe Ryan. So some people do agree on some things, Tom.
Very rare that happens, Koff. But Kobe Ryan, judged best of field and receives a Russell Ebert medal to go along with the Russell Ebert tribute match trophy for his team. Gets a 3 on the SANFL now and the best on ground medal as well. Giving his little speech to the young lad, 20 years of age. We mentioned could be an absolute superstar of the West Adelaide Football Club if he probably already isn't. Only played his 24th game today. Isaac Johnson, not to be confused with his brother Spencer, goes up to collect the trophy for the West Adelaide Football Club. They'll take that home with them back to Richmond tonight. All right, so that will do us here from, I was going to say Loxton, from Waikerie. It didn't go that far. It's extra 20 k's or so up the road. The end of the day, it was West Adelaide victorious, 12-11-83 to Port Adelaide 11-13-79. 4 points is the margin at the end of the day. West Adelaide get their first win. I'm Tom Eglinton. Joining me today is Grant Coffey. Thank you for joining me up here at Waikerie.
Thanks, Tom. Been enjoyable. Great game of footy as well.
Fantastic game of football taken right through to the last moment. Big thank you to everyone on cameras and audio doing everything they can to get us to air and make us sound as good as we possibly can. But from Waikerie, it's goodbye for now. West Adelaide by 4 points.